help with the what now. Car repairs, medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering. We're Brown and Crouppen, and we've got all those answers. All you have to do is call 222-2222.
If you want a first-class, top-of-the-line, high-quality interior remodeling job, you know who I'm going to suggest. Collier & Thompson. Known for their kitchen and bathroom remodels, Collier & Thompson is where you go when you want your remodeling job done right the first time. Collier & Thompson doesn't just do large remodeling jobs. They do plenty of man caves, bars, offices, pretty much anything inside your home. Check out their 10,000-square-foot showroom next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House on Manchester. Let them bring your dream remodel to reality. CollierandThompson.com.
Rosalita's Cantina is known for having the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From carne con cerveza to shrimp diablo, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita. Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 and brunch at the De Pere location on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 to 3. Check out RosalitasCantina.com or visit the downtown or De Pere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
You can get an insurance quote anywhere. What most people are really looking for is someone to help manage the risk of everyday life. Hi, my name's James Carlton, and that's what our incredible team at the James Carlton State Farm Agency do. We work together every day to give customers a first-class experience with insurance and financial products from the leader in the industry. Check us out online at carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm.
There's nothing more important than the look and feel of your home. So now's the time to make your home your retreat. Replace your tired old windows and doors with Marvin replacement products designed to improve comfort and efficiency. Fisher Window and Door Store, a reputable local company, will guide you through the entire replacement process. Their experts will help you make the right choice for your home, and they'll measure, design, and install your new windows and doors.
Hi, I'm Jim Fisher. Since 1941, the Fisher family has provided you with quality American-made building products, including Marvin Windows and Doors. Come visit one of our showrooms in Brentwood or East Alton, and let us help you increase the value of your home.
Bring that distinct sense of quality to every room with Marvin. Visit Fisher Window and Doors' huge newly remodeled showroom in Brentwood or Fisher Lumber in East Alton, Illinois. Quality and comfort starts at Fisher Window and Door. Online at fisherwindow.com.
The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is now right at your fingertips here in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I'm a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited about launching our Circus Sports app in Illinois. It's sports betting the way it should be, with high betting limits, tight money line splits, exceptional customer service, and more. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. Start betting like a pro from anywhere in Illinois.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with Seth Goldcamp of Design Air Heating and Cooling, and I have been a long-time Design Air client. What separates you guys from everybody else?
It's becoming more common for companies to just get their foot in the door. They try to come up with different ways to upsell. They try to see how much they can make off of a customer as opposed to, hey, we're in there to do a service. We're going to do it well. We're going to do it for a fair price.
I don't know how many emails I have received from our listeners who experience the incredible customer service Design Air Heating and Cooling provides. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling, online at designairservice.com.
Hi, this is Chris Pondoff from Illinois Recovery Center. As someone who battled alcoholism and addiction for 20 plus years, I understand the dark places you can find yourself stuck in. Alcoholism and substance abuse takes a heavy toll on your body and your mind, but you can overcome it. Start your journey to recovery at the Illinois Recovery Center, a rehab treatment center that provides comprehensive and customized rehabilitation addiction treatment. If you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, please know that there is hope. Visit IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com today.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today. When we think of a real estate agent, we think of somebody simply selling our home or finding us a new one. I mean, they're all the same, right?
Okay, here's the comps. We'll take some pics, we'll post them, and I'll get back to you, okay?
A home is life-changing, and your real estate agent should reflect that. Honesty, integrity, and someone who will go above and beyond to make your dreams come true.
The Jeff Lotman Group with Compass Realty. We're different because you're different. We want what you want. Experience the difference today at jefflotman.com, bringing people and properties together.
Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's Sports Talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app. Want to take on some legends of TMA?
Sound the same to someone who gives a damn about the best fans in baseball! Tired of it!
The show's so great. Will there be a little speaker system out behind the dumpster, so in case you're servicing me, I'll be able to hear my name?
Then nominate yourself to be this month's TMA Listener of the Month. And if you win, you'll get recognition and other stuff. Sometimes all you have to do to win the prize is be a female.
All it takes is one fake girl to just throw this show completely off course.
Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information at TMASTL.com. The TMA Listener of the Month Club, quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to a brighter side of tequila with Milagro. Find out more at TMASTL.com. KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After on KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis. You're listening to TMA. It's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. Welcome to the Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton, Toyota. 7 o'clock hour. Get involved, friends, by calling into the Collier and Thompson phone line, 636-9004-TMA. Texting into the Schaefer Door Company. Text inbox 314-881-TMA5 and emailing in for our design, air, heating, and cooling. Email the day, the morning after, at InsideSTL.com. One Lil Clog says, good morning, guys. Just wanted to say thank you for all the joy you bring us listeners and for all the hard work. Make it a great day. That's from One Lil Clog.
That was one of us who wrote that in, wasn't it?
You're One Lil Clog?
Well, sometimes when we need a little pat on the back, it's just nice to get that, that kind of pat on the rump every now and then. It's not going to come from outside, so we might as well do it ourselves.
One Lil Clog taking the Jake Reynolds Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month controversial selection in July. Who's going to be the Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month in August, Doug? Anybody kind of standing out to you or reaching the halfway point? Few people really having nice months. Fun to see.
We had a lady call in.
No? Jen. So she's the front runner.
I would think she'd be the front runner, yeah.
I agree with you. No problem on that.
She had a nice little call.
Megan Gaither called in.
That's
yes,
right.
She did. Oh,
she's also, so they're tied for first right now.
Yeah.
Doug, the Cardinals are tied for first. If you give them 7.5 games, they have lost once again last night. Relatively lifeless performance in Cincinnati, and they are now 7.5 back of the Brewers, who lost, and 2.5 back of the Braves for the third wild card spot. They are tied for 5th in the National League. The Cubs are a 1.5 back. The Reds are starting to ask for quarter.
They ask for quarter and give none.
They're 4.5 back of the wild card spot, 2 back of the Cardinals. And my Pirates and my wagers on the Pirates, I have lit money on fire. They have lost 8 in a row, and they just don't care to score. They're going to battle with the Cardinals for the lowest offensive output next to our friends in Miami. The second lowest offensive output is the Pittsburgh Pirates. Oh, no, it's the Cardinals now. Congratulations. The Cardinals are now second lowest offensive output in the National League. Fire Mo, bring in that Joel Osteen lookalike. That comes.
Who would that be?
I don't.
It's not Michael Gersh.
I assume that. I think that's referring to Gersh.
That's from Zach's wife, Gummy. So
Michael Gersh.
Zach's wife call in.
Michael Gersh is a Bill Maher lookalike.
A little bit.
I think.
A little bit.
The Pirates saw what the White Sox did with a losing streak, and they're going to take a run at that.
Yeah, I like that. Good for them. Good for them.
And you have insisted to this day that this is a championship Cardinal ball club, one of the best you've ever seen. I don't see it. I just don't see it.
They made Andrew Abbott look like Sandy Koufax last night.
Doug, a lot of people going into the season thought the National League Central would be the best division, but now there's one team outside of the Cardinals above 500, and that's the Brewers. Everybody else is now below 500, and the Cardinals are asking no quarter and giving none with 500 because if they lose tonight, they're 500.
Right. Well, it could happen. You got to figure the Pirates are good for another loss. So, it could be worse. That's what it's come to now? At least we're not the Pirates or White Sox.
Yeah.
That's the Cardinal slogan. But you know what? It can turn around in a snap. How this team reeled off the best record in the major leagues for more than a month, I don't know. I don't know.
Offense, when they had some offense going.
But they're going to have to do it again if they're going to be a playoff team because right now they're asking for a quarter.
We talked about it yesterday, and they brought Walker up.
Mm-hmm. With a mysterious injury to Matt Carpenter.
I said somebody get hurt.
Yeah. Hurt his lower back. Sitting on the bench. I guess that's what you have to do. They don't want to just DFA it.
Right.
Good first at bat for Jordan Walker. He was behind 0-2 and then battled and got on base. Cardinals had a couple different opportunities with bases loaded, albeit with 2 outs, and not able to do much, which has been really the overriding theme of the 2024 campaign. Runners in scoring position, lack of conversion, and alas, another loss. And if you want to get things going, you better get it going now, because the next 6 games when they get home will be against the Dodgers and the Brewers, and then they get a trip to the Bronx.
Easy peasy. It could be that they've just been saving up some runs. They don't want to run too much around the bases now for fear of hamstring pulls.
Oh.
So when they play the better teams, those hamstrings will be fresh.
Okay.
And they can run a little faster.
You holding rights, bro?
It's encouraging.
Ollie Marmol got a chance to talk it over following the game. That was a Sonny Gray start.
Mm-hmm.
And so when those don't go well, oh boy, Eric Fetty will go up tonight against Hunter Green, and he's been dealing as of late. So the Cardinals will really have to fight off this quarter that the Reds aren't asking for.
But they're asking, and nor are they giving it.
At least he's a righty.
Here's Ollie Marmol talking Sonny Gray, and you say he got snippy with the cat?
Yeah, towards the end.
Uh-oh. All right.
Punched out, 7, first time through, and it was electric. I mean, the ball was coming out of his hand extremely well. He was executing pitches, was doing what he wanted, and it looked good. Steer, after the walk, took a really good swing on him, and the ball got out to left. And then the ground ball through the 4-hole, the walk, and then another Steer homer. When you look at what else he did, Sonny looked pretty good. But a couple good swings by Steer and De La Cruz, and you got 6 runs.
Sonny last year gave up 8 homers all season. Obviously, a little different this year. Do you see any difference in what he's doing?
No.
Well, I guess you could call it a great start, and he had good stuff, but he did give up 5 hits and 3 home runs and 6 runs in 5 innings.
Yeah.
And it almost always gets down to just a couple swings. When the guys are hitting 2- and 3-run homers, you can always say, well, it's just a couple swings.
Yeah. Well, he gave up the same amount of hits as Andrew Abbott, but the balls he gave
Keep
up.
the ball in the ballpark, Sonny.
Well,
Keep it down. Keep it out of the wheelhouse.
Both pitches up and in. But lower 90s. Guys are going to tag it.
What are we going to do? What will we do? Trade deadline's come and gone. We've called up our top guys from Memphis. Nothing's working.
Why is Ollie out of breath? Is that what the strategic beard is hiding? That's from sex.
No, strategic beard is just an unfortunate genetic thing. Like, he's a guy in good shape. He just happens to have a rounder face, therefore strategic beard.
Strategic beard, Doug.
Really?
That's Jackson's reasoning for the strategic beard.
And a beard makes your face look narrower?
It more shapes the face, gives it a little bit more of a...
Picture frame?
Definition. Yeah.
Really?
Kind of. Yeah. I think that's the idea, at least.
All right.
And when I say strategic beard, I'm not trying to say there's like a pejorative. I'm just saying it's the case.
Don't say pejorative.
Well, I think that was the right use.
When did the beards come back into play in baseball? Was that the 90s thing?
Jeff Reardon.
That's the first guy I thought of, too. Because they didn't used to ever have beards.
And he was with the Twins?
That's where he had his best years. Expos, too, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Because looking back when I was young, nobody had a beard.
I think a lot of those teams were kind of like the Yankees. Didn't allow beards. They had to have suit and ties on when they got on the plane.
Yeah, a lot of them did.
Bradford's beard, it doesn't do it for me.
Producer Joe.
Sam Bradford. Joe was not a Sam Bradford honk.
Campton check down.
Mm-hmm.
It was we've had moments over the 20 years of this program that were rather odd, and one of the defining debates was Sam Bradford, whether or not he was good. Look back and ask yourself, internally if you'd like, were you on the right side of history?
I wasn't.
Producer Joe was.
Well, he was the NFC Offensive Rookie of the Year as a rookie. He looked terrific his rookie year, and then he never got any better.
Couldn't escape the pocket. And when he did, he tore his ACL twice.
He was awfully good at Oklahoma. The draft pick made perfect sense.
It was him or Ndamukong
Just what you look
Suh.
for.
Yeah.
Producer Joe's data point was Big 12 quarterbacks do not translate to having success in the NFL. And I don't know if anything's happened since.
No.
I'm trying to think. RG3 worked for a little.
Yeah.
1 year.
Mizzou hadn't cranked out some that made it, but not made it big in the league.
Back up you.
Yeah.
Missouri University.
Cardinals suck, Blues suck, City sucks, this town sucks. So it's a total package. In the Schaefer Door Company text inbox, and he's not happy with it.
No.
What do you consider successful? Because Chase Daniel probably made about $50 million, and I don't think he ever took a shower.
I'm talking about on the field. He didn't have a whole lot of success on the field. Yeah, we should all be so unsuccessful as he is financially in making a job in professional sports. I'm just talking about relative to the top quarterbacks in the league. Mizzou hasn't really produced any. Some great college quarterbacks, but they have not either given much of a chance at the pro level or just never really produced in a big way.
Prod Joe, not wrong.
Producer Joe texted me, and he says Mahomes has changed the Big 12 thing.
Yeah.
Producer Joe's always listening. Isn't that nice, Doug? He's always listening.
It's comforting to know.
Yeah, he's always there, like a warm blanket.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, when he's, for the record, in fairness to Producer Joe, before I would guess about 80 texts come in, when he was saying it, this was at the Bradford. Mahomes wasn't in the league. This was during the Bradford era. But my overarching point is that was one of those things that while it was going on, I was. You know what they talk about? They talk about hopium.
Oh, is
hope and opium. Watch this. Hopium.
Coming together.
And so in certain markets, you have things where people don't want to have to go, oh, God, this isn't going to work out. And if it doesn't work out, we've got ourselves a real problem because we're going to have to start at square one. And Sam Bradford, I think, locally, albeit 14 years ago now, he was drafted in April of 2010. That was an example of hopium.
Yeah.
I think we've earned a little bit of respect.
Well,
there you go. What about that?
Yeah. Most people seem to like the pick when they took him.
I did. I'm on the wrong side. I just think he was better when he threw the ball downfield, and they never threw the ball downfield. He had some accuracy. He was in the wrong time.
You know, Producer Joe called him Captain Checkdown.
Yes, he did. He sure did.
Run that damn Shermer offense. It was awful. And Schottenheimer.
Guys, Patrick Mahomes is our hometown quarterback. This is Chiefs Nation.
That's true. There should be no reason why the Big 12 can't produce quality.
At that time, they were running a bunch of spread offenses, whereas that really hadn't made its way at the time. Remember, I mean, this is super obscure, but some people might remember it. LSU and Alabama were like the top two teams in the country, and I think they played up 3-0 or 6-3 game, and this was at the time of the Big 12 having those spread offenses. And then Saban adapted, and now you see the SEC flying around too.
Yeah. Wasn't Mike Leach a big part of that kind of change? The air raid, West Coast.
Pirate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts is another one, but now OU, of course, moved to the SEC.
2 Big 12 quarterbacks in a Super Bowl this year. Suck it, bleeding anus boy.
Oh.
Some Junior the Juice Man.
Gosh.
But before that, he was spot on. I mean, I looked up best NFL QB.
I think we're going to ignore that before that because he made the statement in 2012. That was, but it's fine.
Well, in all fairness to the Rams, I mean, they needed a quarterback. I think there were only 3 quarterbacks taken in the first 2 rounds, and the other 2 were Clausen and Tebow.
Well, the pick made perfect sense.
There wasn't a lot of quarterbacks in that draft, and they got the best one.
Yeah, he was terrific at Oklahoma. He was a great player in college.
Guys, they missed Matt Stafford and Cam Newton by a year. Like when the Blues missed Crosby and Kane by a year when they took Eric Johnson. Oh, Doug, that one hurt from Alan Dadeville.
It sure did.
That's smarted.
That was also the year where NFL rookies could be the highest paid player on the team going into the season, and the next year they kind of changed that, and so that also was a real pain in the ass because you're paying the guy like crazy to sit on the bench hurt.
Bradford made a fortune,
crazy money.
Yeah, and was really never a very accomplished NFL quarterback.
Rams drafted a Nebraska quarterback and made him a wide receiver. How about that whole deal? That's from the Vic Tanny aerobics instructor.
Yeah, that didn't work out.
It's a matter of opinion.
Well, Vic Tanny, I don't think is even in business still. That's what I was talking about.
That may be the ugliest shirt I've ever seen, Doug. It looks like Jackson's face when he was asked to be the top for an anal excursion. Next time, wait 48 hours before choosing a shirt. That's from the Warson Woods Wacko. It looks like an Easter shirt to me.
Yeah.
I like it.
Got a pastel in nature, kind of festive.
I say it kind of looks like a peppermint stick.
Yeah.
And I like that look.
I thought it looked like a piece of Turkish taffy.
Ooh, I like that. Now that's what I like to call producing. Prod Joe and Donnie Most are still the best producers this city's ever seen. That's from glove blogger Tom Traven.
Joe was a good producer, and yet he still carries this nickname of Bleeding Anus Boy, which doesn't seem fair to me. He was injured in a weight room accident. That's all.
Get screwed.
That's one of the best drops we have.
Get screwed.
Yeah, there it is.
They also drafted a 5'8" slot receiver and proceeded to run in between the tackles. It wasn't the smartest operation around, Doug. That's Kwame Voyukas, and he's the fourth
Tavon
generation.
Austin. That wasn't odd. They had like the fastest runner on the field, and they lined him up at what looked like a fullback position to run up the middle.
I remember having Tyoka Jackson on the program. You were probably sitting there the next morning, and he was all over that. He was like, I don't get this pick at all. He goes, this cannot be successful in the NFL. It's great on Twitter, subtweeting, but you don't get points for that, unfortunately.
I think the pick was solid. I think the execution was piss poor. I think they had running him deep. They didn't know what to do with him. Because then you look at Tyreek Hill a few years later, similar speed, and is the best wide receiver in the league. I just think the execution, and while he didn't really have a great quarterback throwing to him, that's a key part.
Yeah.
He didn't have Patrick Mahomes and,
well, at least things didn't go so badly that we lost the team.
That hurt right there, Doug.
Yeah.
Get involved in the program. Schaefer Door Company is the sponsor of the Text Inbox now. Great to have them on board. Schaefer Door Company, sponsor of our Text Inbox. Munganast is our sponsor of the 7 o'clock hour online at stlouisacura.com and AltonToyota.com. Are you in the market for a new car? Go to stlouisacura.com or altontoyota.com. What about a pre-owned vehicle? stlouisacura.com, altontoyota.com. And even if you didn't get your car from Munganast, get your car serviced at Munganast, stlouisacura.com, altontoyota.com. And work with Jamie Burkhardt. Work with Peter Munganast and in the service department, Ryan Seiberg, the official automotive provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast, and the presenting sponsor of Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. It's Munganast, St. Louis Acura, Munganast Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. Doug, could you tell people about the sponsor of this text inbox? And that's Schaefer Door Company online at schaeferdoor.com.
If you're looking for a new job, Schaefer Door is still hiring. They're hiring technicians who'll get you trained nicely and have you ready to go on a nice job that pays pretty well, and you'll work with some great people. They have multiple family members there. A lot of people have worked at Schaefer Door for many, many years because it is such a great place to work. Here's how you spell it. SCHAEFER, Schaefer Door Company. They service all kinds of garage doors for service and new installs with LiftMaster. LiftMaster garage door openers are strong, quiet, and versatile. Maybe the problem with your garage door is you don't have a LiftMaster. Well, Schaefer Door can get it installed for you. They also service commercial doors. You have maybe a business or a warehouse with big, tall doors. Schaefer Door's got you covered there, too. Experience at all kinds of jobs. Big enough to get any kind of job done, small enough that when you call, you talk to a person, and they will give you that personal service. Service techs are not commission-based. You call them up. If you don't need something, they're not going to sell it to you. They just want your garage door to start working right. It's schaeferdoor.com or call or text 636-782-3608. Schaefer Door is a LiftMaster partner.
And James Carlton is my insurance agent. I'd like to recommend him. Do you mind?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
He's sponsoring the Colonels podcast now. And I was listening to the Colonels podcast. Recommendation on that. Bill Conley, who was a Tiger Board poster and now an ESPN writer.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. How about that?
That's the pipeline.
Guy, huh?
And he developed SP Plus.
SP Plus.
Yeah. That's his
Standard plumbing?
It's I was listening to him on the Colonels podcast yesterday, and he said in 2007 when baseball it became mainstream anyway for analytics. Obviously, it had started earlier than that. Bill James, Moneyball, earlier than that, but there were really no college football analytics, and so he has developed that. And he was Colonel's guest yesterday. He's a Missouri guy, and talking it over regarding the prediction method he developed in the upcoming Missouri season and the SEC. That's James Carlton sponsoring that. That's James Carlton sponsoring this. Yes, James Carlton. In Webster Groves, Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, online at carltoninsurance.net. He's my insurance agent. Make the switch. And they do all the paperwork for you. 314-961-4800 or go online at carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton. I pause and then say State Farm. Doug, the top 25 by the AP is out. Missouri comes in at number 11. I saw you posting yesterday about the disrespect. Hashtagged everything STP. Wow. You are not happy.
No. It's frankly an outrage.
Nice.
I don't know why the rest of the country hates us so much when we but nothing but try to become a better program. We've recruited, we've paid these young gentlemen. We've changed defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators. Yes, change. We've done whatever a club should do to get into the top 10, and we're still not there. It's because they fear us. These other programs don't want anything to do with Missouri, and so they won't schedule us. And so we have to drop down and play Boston, and we have to play Buffalo, and a bunch of Shishawali clubs, because the big boys want nothing to do with us. And that alone is why we're number 11 and not number 1. And I am frankly tired of it.
Good for you. Good for you.
Don't you think if they think they're 11th best team in the country, that means they'll get in the playoffs?
We want more than the playoffs.
Hell yeah.
We don't want to just show up. We want to win this dang thing.
Woo!
It's our time now.
Give us the bye. We want the bye. Top 4.
Yeah.
SEC champs.
Oh, I hear the fight song. Jackson, I could see you in a raccoon coat with a pennant that says State U that you're waving down on the field.
Team.
Doug, Matt Brown of The Athletic broke it down with his column on the top 10. He said, amid all the change in college football, from conference realignment to the expansion of the playoff to 12 teams, arguing about the AP poll remains a constant. No, the AP Top 25 doesn't have the national championship, meaning it once did, but it's still a guide to how we think about college football teams before, during, and after the season, with nearly 90 years of history to look back on. Though the new postseason will throw new wrinkles into the mix, we can still look at the history of the AP poll to have some fun projecting what this year's preseason rankings released Monday say about how the season will play out. As I begin my 8th season as a voter, here are my 10 thoughts on the preseason AP Top 25 and what it means. And then he goes through his ballot. The AP has Georgia, who Missouri does not have to face until they play them in Atlanta, of course,
right,
as number 1. Matt has them ranked number 3. Ohio State's the AP number 2. Matt has them ranked number 1.
Okay, Matt.
Scrolling down, Missouri ranked number 11th. Matt has them ranked number 20.
Come on, Matt. Get with the program. You don't know what you're talking about, Matt. Come on, Matty. Do your homework, man. I'm so tired of Matt. I had it to hear with Matt. I don't even know who he is. And frankly, I don't like how he's disrespecting our Tigers.
Michigan is the lowest ranked defending champion since 2011. These are some of his fun facts. For the record, Michigan is ranked 9th in the AP poll.
You see why they won't let Harbaugh come back and have anything to do with college sports for a while?
Show cause, 4 years.
Yeah. He must have really been up to some nonsense, because you can get away with just about anything nowadays and to still earn a 4-year ban.
Nick Saban is also gone, but he is welcomed. Saban may be gone, but Alabama is ranked 5th. It's the 16th consecutive season Alabama has started in the top 5, dating back to its run from 5th to the national title in 2009. It's also the worst starting position Alabama's been in since 2009. How about that? Being ranked 5th is the worst they've been.
That's the respect we should get here.
Who will crash the top 10? He said in the 4-team playoff era, only 2 of 40 playoff teams started the season unranked in the AP poll. Doug, you want to guess who they were?
Say it one more time for me. So
In the 4-team playoff era, only 2 of 40 playoff teams started the season unranked in the AP poll.
Oh, only 2 of 40. Well, I'm going to need initials.
All right, TCU.
TCU, Tennessee Crimson University?
That's correct. 2022. And then Michigan in 2021. How about that? That's kind of a random one that they were not ranked. 32 of the 40 college football playoff teams started in the top 10. Though many of the usual suspects will surely make the playoff, there's a lot more room for teams to come from off the preseason map and crash the postseason. Missouri was last year's biggest riser, going from unranked in the preseason to number 8 with an 11-2 record and Cotton Bowl win over Ohio State. An average of 2.1 preseason unranked teams have finished in the top 10 since 1989, including a high of 5 in 2022 and 4 in 2021. The highest ranked team on my ballot that are unranked in the poll are Memphis, which I have 24th, and Boise State, which I have 25th, neither of whom I'd predict with much confidence will finish in the top 10.
Okay.
Could 2024 produce the hardest schedule ever?
Oh, hell, I don't know.
Florida's unranked in the preseason for the 3rd consecutive year, something that hadn't happened since going back to 88 through 90. The news only gets worse. The Gators face the hardest schedule in the country with 8 of 12 teams, Miami, A&M, Tennessee, Georgia, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, and Florida State, appearing in the preseason poll, all in the top 20. Sweet mother of mercy.
Yeah.
That includes 4 top 10 teams in their final 5 games. The record for most regular season games against opponents ranked at the time of the game is 8. That was 2014 Arkansas, and they went 2-6 in those games.
Well, bow your neck, Gator gentlemen.
Billy Napier.
Yeah. Florida has no excuse not to be really good because it's a great school. They've got all kinds of talent in Florida. They do have some history. They got the weather. A lot of people would love to go down there. They really don't have much excuse not to be a top flight team every year, I don't think.
The only thing I would say is the proximity of other great schools right there. Where, like, if a kid decided to go to Georgia from Florida, it's not like they're super far from home, or Clemson, or certainly FSU and Miami. Like, I think the rise in some of those teams, Clemson namely, like, is a big deterrent for Florida.
Florida's a really good academic school, too, and so many of these players are scholars first.
Bingo.
Scholars first, football second.
Bingo.
I saw one poll had Florida ranked the #1 public school in America.
Really?
Yeah, it's hard to get into. If you're,
Oh, yeah, it's a great
it's
school.
hard to get in.
It's a great school.
But I would think some of public universities.
Yeah.
Isn't like Virginia a better school?
It's always, I don't know, not according to this ranking.
I'm calling it Mizzou are starting a dynasty. Doug, do you like that? That's in the total package.
Well,
Kevin Miller.
Like I said, it's academics first.
I will now run through a wall for Doug. That's from Swayze, Possible Burner.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. In fact, Missouri should have been ranked the #1 public school in America.
Yes.
Just based on the journalism graduates they're cranking out who can't get jobs.
And if they can, they make...
They do something else. They do it for a year or two.
What about Doug? When Doug was there, was he in the bondage cage?
I wasn't there.
What a drop.
I was not there. That was the Bunny Ranch, right? He's accused me
Dennis Hoff.
In a bondage cage.
What is that just jail?
No, it would be like a giant dog cage. Where you'd probably be in like a gimp suit.
Oh! Why would a gentleman do that?
I can tell what you're about to do, and it's kink shame.
Yes, I'm going to. It's exactly what I'm going to do.
You're into the BDSM, masochist.
In a dog cage.
Yeah, it's a sub thing, I assume. What am I saying assume? It's 100% a sub thing.
Oh.
Doms aren't caged up.
But I was not there. There are no flight records to indicate that I ever went to the Bunny Ranch.
Flight records.
And the adult industry knocked on my door as well. And I said no.
A lot of audio to the contrary.
I said absolutely no.
Jackson, they are not happy with you for putting ads up during YouTube. You've got to stop firing those ads.
Mm-hmm.
I have to? Okay. Fair enough.
Please stop making money for the station.
I took 5 years to get my sociology degree from the University of Missouri, not because I was a garbage student with no work ethic, but because of the rigorous curriculum. That's from Shrimply Pibbles.
There you go. Rest my case. They want you to go as many years as possible.
Of course.
Because they are just raking in the cash.
Of course.
Raking it in.
And as soon as you leave, they're asking for more.
Yeah. Can you give us more?
John
You gotta
Mulaney
be
does
kidding me.
John Mulaney does a great joke about colleges wanting more money from you after you graduate.
Yeah.
It's like, I just gave you $250,000. You spent it already?
Not enough.
It's crazy.
Yeah, boy, it is a racket.
How about this? Here's a compliment. These don't come on. When I see them, I gotta. It's so refreshing getting a variety of drops like the Stedman days. That's from Snagglepuss. Jackson, how about that?
Would love to rub Nutella all over the fat guy's feet and just lick it off.
Oh.
Think about that.
Who wants to do that? The fat guy's feet?
Correct.
Don't kink shame.
Yeah, that's true.
You're gonna do it again.
Lick hazelnut spread off Jay Jr.'s feet. Let him.
Do these olds have any idea what U-block or ad block are? Jesus, that's from Sex.
I don't think that's like, if I'm not mistaken, that's more for like pop-up ads on websites, less so for YouTube ads that kind of run on the media player. I don't think that's going to help you. It will help you, though, if you're on some nefarious websites and you need to block the pop-up ads.
Boys, I want nothing more than to love college football, but I went to private university in Missouri and can't get into it for the life of me. Please help. That's from Shafty McShamus. What private university would that be? St. Louis University? Washington University?
Westminster? Oh, he went to St. Louis.
No, he said in Missouri, so what else would there be?
There's
Drury,
Westminster.
is Drury private?
I think so.
Westminster private?
Yeah. I don't have a lot of others for you. Sanford Brown.
Sanford Brown is
Private universities.
Jesuit.
You got College of the Ozarks, WashU, Webster, Maryville, Fontbonne, Central Methodist, SLU, Rockhurst.
Oh, yeah, Rockhurst, Doug.
Drury, Columbia College, MOBAP.
They got Fontbonne on that list, and it doesn't exist anymore. Right?
I think this.
It's out of business.
I think this was the last year of it. So.
Tell the poorest bitching about the ads to sign up for YouTube Premium. You can be a man. Doug, wear me like an especially slutty hat. That's from Brian Henshaw.
How am I going to get a hat in the what kind of cage was it again?
Bondage.
Bondage cage.
That's right.
Yeah. Can't get a hat through there.
You'd be surprised. Or you can just wait the 10 seconds for the ad to finish up. And
That's all it is, 10 seconds and it's done?
So are there more ads now than there used to be?
I have it set to the lowest.
You haven't
possible.
changed the settings, is what
No,
you're saying.
No, it's set to the lowest possible setting. They have to run. You can't run. You have to run ads. YouTube has to make some money. This is how it works.
Yeah, sure it is.
If you're not paying for something to like watch something or listen to something, more than likely you're going to get ads. That's the trade-off.
I pay $17.99 a month for YouTube Premium, and it's some of the best money I spend.
If you don't have to pay anything, then you are the product.
There you go.
Think about
Facebook.
You're a smart
You
guy,
are the
Tom.
product. They're selling your information.
If you can listen to music on YouTube Premium, and then you can lock your phone, I might make the switch from Apple Music. I really might, because that would be huge. That would be everything. If I could get no ads on YouTube and a music streaming service, 2 for 1.
Yeah. Well, we don't have ads in the bondage cage, which is nice.
Speaking of waiting, how long are we supposed to wait for these hats? That's from Mr. Siders. Chairman Kurt, anything updating on the hats and the Pirates?
I do not have an update. The moment I have one, I will give it to the people.
In fairness, I was in an email in which Chairman Kurt contacted the person/company handling the hats, and unless I was not included in the response, I have not seen a response yet.
No response yet.
And these are river to pear pirates?
They go up and down the river to Pear?
Somali pirates, but they've made their way to River to Pear.
Really?
Yeah.
So they came over from Somalia. Doug, is that the Cape of Good Hope?
That's somewhere in there.
and
with our hats,
and then made their way up the Atlantic Ocean into the Gulf.
Right.
They go into the Mississippi River Delta,
Sure.
and then make their way northbound, and then they get on the offshoot of the River de Pere, and now they just go back
drainage
in.
canal. They make a left turn into a drainage canal, and that's where our hats are.
Well, John boat, and then next thing you know, you're pirating on River de Pere.
Yeah.
I'll say this to the audience, because again, on when it comes to merchandise, that's an inside STL thing. The buck stops here. Me, you can be mad at Chairman Kurt or whomever, Jackson, even though Jackson's really got nothing to do with it. It's my responsibility. I apologize. To be real straightforward, I am pissed off. It's probably the most pissed off I've been about something involving indirectly the show since we've gotten to Hubbard, because at Hubbard it's kind of professional, and well, not kind of, it is professional. And this isn't a Hubbard thing. This is Inside STL has the merchandise. We have a problem. We will tend to the problem. Furthermore, I've already paid for it.
Yeah.
And so that's also problematic. But
when these high seas bandits get your headgear, there's not much you can do about it.
Once they come up from the Gulf to the Mississippi River Delta and then go into the River de Pere, it's very difficult.
It's hard to do anything about it.
I haven't seen much like this, but you know.
And they're taunting us, too.
Here's one of two things: either you're going to get your hats, or I will send you your money back from Inside STL, because Inside STL owns the merchandise, and then I will proceed with litigation to get my money back from the company that is not taking care of business. So those are one of two scenarios.
So a lot of them are right there where Watson Road crosses over River de Pere. You know,
that's where they seem like they hang out
because they want the Ted Drew stuff. The pirates get off the boat every now and then and order a tiramisu.
Yeah, that's where it seems like they come up.
That's where they're moored. You want to know where your hats are? There they are. Go get them yourself.
I've never seen him in a bondage cage, but Doug was on the other side of a finger cuff in the alley of the Cat's Meow last Saturday. We made eye contact and his hair looked nice. It's from Stephen Wildwood?
I was not at Cat's Meow.
What's that?
That's a gift store in De Pere, right behind Circle 7.
Okay.
Wow. Wow. So it sounds like
been there a few times.
Sounds like
bought a few things there.
I mean, it sounds like Stephen Wildwood might have something there.
In that little strip mall?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right by Ace Hardware.
Yeah, the Daily Bread right there.
Tim, did you order these hats from John Hadley Hats LLC? That's from Zach's wife, Gummy, and he's live for Text of the Day.
You think the pirates are putting them on and laughing and then slinging them to each other? Just playing with our
I've never seen anything. Honestly, I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm in awe. I know the reason for the business decision, and unfortunately, hey, like I said, it's my responsibility. So either people get their hats, Doug, would you say in short order?
Yeah.
Or I am going to refund every single person from the Inside STL account, and then the company will be sending me the money, or our attorneys will be getting the money from the company.
Okay.
It's one or the other.
Yeah.
That's the way that this is going to go. But enough's enough.
All right.
So the audience has every right to be pissed off, and when people don't do their jobs, we take action. And that's just the way that things are. I would imagine if I know I wasn't getting something to somebody, I would be like apologetic and then responding to emails, which Chairman Kurt has been sending. But we got a different set of circumstances here. This is a different operation. So, like I said, I'm looking forward to taking action.
Are you?
Yeah. I don't know if you remember the scene in 1991's New Jack City when Ice-T finally got a chance to take out Nino Brown, who was played by Wesley Snipes.
Oh, was he?
And I don't think I can say out on HD2, but once you've kind of had enough of somebody and the way they're doing business, he said, I want to shoot you so bad, my blank is hard. And I'm kind of sitting here with an erection,
gun,
and it's a rage erection, which I've had enough. Because we've got I don't know 100 people who order these things, and they're sitting there going, "What kind of operation you running?" And I go, "You got every right to come after me." I mean, I know the background, but yeah, this isn't the way that I want to represent doing business. It's wrong, and like I said, it's on me. And so we're going to either refund the money or we're going to get we're going to get the hats to people ASAP because it's not right. So I apologize. It's nobody else's fault but mine. So that's how we're going to take care of it.
Well, you can account for a lot of things, but there's no trusting Buccaneers on the high seas.
Weren't complimentary putting green passes also included with each hat purchase? Doug, that's from Carlos Spicy Wiener. We tried to give people access to putting greens, but at this point, most putting greens are charging people to use them around public courses.
Yeah. Where's all the other merch? Is it still at Jackson's parents' house?
Hasn't been there for years.
You did have merch at your house, your parents' house, I should say.
Yeah, that was the little process. It would go from KFNS, go back to my parents' house, bag up a few items, and drop it off at the post office.
Huh.
What's the update on the concert tickets that Ken does not have? That's from Harrison's brother Master. Iggy, Megan Gaither is going to Green Day with you on Thursday. But you revealed you did not have tickets yet. Harrison's brother Master tracks everything that you do very closely. Would you like to update him?
No, I did. I talked to her last night because I said I apologize because I thought I told you that when we were talking about Stevie Nicks, and I said Green Day, and I said, well, I'll let you know. I said I signed up for tickets, so we'll see. I'm pretty sure I said that to her. She goes, you probably did. I don't remember. She goes, no big deal. If you get tickets, you get tickets, and we'll go. If not, no big deal. But I think I did tell her I signed up. I didn't say I had tickets, but I don't know. I haven't got an email yet, so.
So no tickets yet?
And if no tickets, you're going to buy them for the two of you?
No.
No.
And I don't know. I haven't heard what's going on tonight. They canceled Hershey.
Doug, they canceled Hershey
a couple nights ago because
Put them right on the highway.
Billy Joe lost his voice. And they were supposed to do a kind of like a lounge thing with.
Oh, or like they were playing in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Is that what you mean? I didn't even know Hershey, Pennsylvania had concerts.
I thought that was a band.
And so did I. I'm just like, okay, it was a band I haven't heard of.
No, they played the night before, and they played in the rain. And the band said when Billy Joe came off stage, he just lost his voice. He couldn't talk.
And they were supposed to play there last night?
And they were supposed to play Hershey 2 nights ago. And now tonight they're at Wrigley Field and then come to St. Louis in 2 days. The Wrigley Field show has not been canceled, but they haven't given an update. They're supposed to play, I don't know what the big rock station is in Chicago, Q107, something like that. The band was going to do like a little lounge thing for them and the listeners, winners, and they were going to come to the studio and do a little lounge thing. And they canceled that for today. But they haven't canceled Chicago yet.
Green Day's playing Wrigley tonight. It's still on. It's from Vianney's hottest
What did
mom.
I just say?
Yeah, you said it. You said that exact thing.
I said they're supposed to be in Wrigley tonight. They haven't canceled yet, but they haven't came out and said we're good to go tonight. They haven't said anything. So you don't know anything either.
Says the Hershey show's also been rescheduled.
Rescheduled for September.
Yeah.
And who lost her voice? Sounded like you said Billy Joel.
Billy Joe Armstrong. That's my man crush.
No.
So I don't know.
So if he hit on you on Thursday night, would you allow him to impale you?
No, I'd cuddle if he wanted to.
Oh, gosh.
A little kiss
But impaling's out?
Kiss on the cheek as long as they sign the guitar.
So you would let him cuddle you and kiss you on the cheek, but if he like made a move, you would say no. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not gay.
When is it okay to kiss a guy?
That would be okay there. No, I'm trying to reach out to these people. Never get back to anybody. I have a guitar. Every year I buy a guitar for Gobble Bowl. Hopefully, the Point or whoever is always backstage doing stuff, and Matthew is always kind enough to drop off a guitar at the table, and a certain band will sign it. 2 years ago, Lizzie Hale and Hailstorm signed one for me. And I was hoping to get this guitar backstage to them to sign it for Gobble Bowl.
Sure you were, yeah.
And nobody's gotten back to me.
Oh,
so.
no.
But I don't know. I mean, I talked to somebody yesterday who said the email went out, but I didn't get it for tickets, so I don't know.
That's probably a bad sign.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain. They do enough. They do enough
they
for
do.
everybody here. Matthew
Yes.
busts his ass to get his tickets whenever he can. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I signed up. All you can do is sign up and see what happens.
Do you like deep kissing or soft
Oh,
kissing?
for heaven's sakes.
Just a peck on the cheek, probably. No lips.
This is from the guy in the band.
But now, if he's
Billy Joe Armstrong,
if he's got a sore throat, I don't want him kissing me.
Oh, that's the only thing that would rule it out?
Sore throat, yeah.
Team, good morning. Speaking of business dealings, any chance we can get more ads on the Now That's What I Call Repetitive little passion project you're doing on that thing called HD2? We don't hear enough overmodulated commercials for your interview show that hasn't had a guest since the Carter administration, and Pepper and Jeannie promoting an interview with a blue-haired porn star who enjoys sitting on rhubarb pies and Lunchables. Best, that's from Jim Lemon, PhD, VMI class of 45. Scrolling STL today for the news and see a car dealership hired more family members. Booming little market you guys have yourselves there. Doug Jim Lemon, I thought he was with the Hazelwood business community, but now he's talking about the St. Louis business community struggling and just hiring family members for car dealerships. Is that what?
Whatever it takes. And he's a VMI graduate.
He is, class of 45.
Yeah.
Do we have a promo running about Maitland Ward?
No. There are no Pepper and Jeannie promos still running. And haven't had those running for like a year and change.
The show's been off for more than a year, hasn't it?
For like the 4 or 5 months in hopes of getting it back, we ran the promos, but...
Maybe you should work on tickets first before you try and get a guitar signed backstage. Jake and Kirkwood not happy.
Well, I don't necessarily have to go to the show to get the guitar signed. I can drop it off to the band manager back and put it back there and sign it. And then I have somebody who works for Hollywood Casino that would pick it up for me, so I don't necessarily have to go to the show.
You got a guy on the inside?
I know a guy that stands in front of the stage. He's like a bodyguard type thing.
Okay.
So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah.
Isn't cuddling and kissing a man by a man the definition of gay? I'm so confused. That's from the old Appleton stepdad.
Yeah, they don't do a lot of that in old Appleton.
No, that's just...
Well, yes, it
friends.
would be. No, that's more than friends.
I've been heterosexual all my life, but this guy lured me here. Oops, I guess I'm gay now.
That's just not how it works.
I mean, it's
not how it works.
You have to have sex to be gay.
I don't think so.
I do.
Doug, so if you saw me outside in the hallway during the commercial break making out with a guy, you'd be like, oh, straight guy, father, married,
If you're out there
woman.
necking with Randy Carricker, I'm going to say you're probably gay. And he's not.
Well, what if he's reciprocating?
Well, he's probably trying to rebuke your advances.
Guys come in here, you give them a little handshake and a little lean in for the hug. Is that gay?
No.
I just hugged a man.
No.
I hugged Licks after he beat me. Are we gay?
I mean, there's
hugging is not.
That's the Fan Page Club Championship. That's so emotional.
Yeah, making out with somebody and hugging.
I said a kiss on the cheek is not making out.
I would agree there. But Doug just referenced making out.
Well,
Ken, would you give Billy Joe on HJ for free tickets? That's from Big Tuft.
No.
Okay.
Work,
bitch. I mean, that answers the question, doesn't it, Doug?
Yes.
I'd probably give him a handy if they all sign the guitar, because I know we'd make.
well, now we just changed it.
We'd probably make $1,000 from the Megan Meyer Foundation. So, yeah. So I guess.
So you're a gigolo for hire as much as anything.
Would you talk during it, or would it just be stone silent?
I think it's hotter if it's quieter.
I'd love to talk to him. Sing to me. Sing Basket Case while I'm whacking.
Boy, so vivid.
What an image to think of, right?
Maybe he's listening. I mean, you can
Doubtful.
probably pick us
You
up
can see
in
him
Chicago.
listening.
You
Yeah,
can pick
sure.
us up in Chicago, probably.
Sure.
You can pick us up anywhere if you're on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's remarkable how much energy Ken will put into not working at literally anything else. It's breathtaking to experience every morning. He'll live on the cusp of poverty just so he can maintain the same work schedule as most high school seniors. That's from Arbor Day. Doug, Arbor Day won Texter of the Year last year, is that right?
I think so.
Where did that come from?
Arbor Day, call in 636-9004 TMA Collier and Thompson phone lines. He just texted into the Schaefer Door Company text inbox. And, of course, you could email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. Design Air is the official HVAC provider of The Morning After and the Tim McKernan Show podcast. Jackson, I don't know. When do we do QFTA? I don't know.
Whatever's best for you.
Doug, that's the answer to every question.
Right, whatever's best for you.
Well, I mean,
Tim.
that's
the answer to every question.
My job is to produce the program, so whenever it's best for you, that's when I'll do it.
I guess Tuesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
I'm off on Friday.
Either works for me.
Tuesday or Thursday. Send your questions in. T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com. TMCKERNAN at InsideSTL.com. Anything works. Comments and really erotic stories.
That's what you like.
Yeah, but we're not getting them.
Yeah.
And oftentimes they start off erotic and then it ends with like the guy like pissing himself.
Oh.
And then he can't get hard. And
There's vomit once.
yeah, we had
Oh,
that.
That's what people are sending in?
Yeah, well, that's like as close as they get to the mountaintop. It's like they get to base camp at Everest, but they just can't summit. That's what I think's going on with these, unfortunately. T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com. Design Air. Doug's a client, Iggy's a client, I'm a client. Seth Goldcamp is the best. And anytime you run into any air conditioning issues, you go to DesignAirService.com. Seth's fourth generation. No upselling. He prides himself on carrying on the legacy of his great-grandfather, his grandfather, his father. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling. He's a wonderful gentleman with a wonderful service staff. DesignAirService.com, official HVAC provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast. If you're in the market for a home, I'd like to recommend this gentleman. JEFFLOTTMANN.com. Yeah, JEFFLOTTMANN.com. That's Jeff Lotman of Compass Realty. I kind of thought you might see some listings slow down, but I feel like I'm getting a couple every single day. They're still out there, and I would imagine if there is, well, I guess we saw mortgage rates go down, Doug, 2 weeks ago, and then they kind of went back up last week. But maybe we'll see something in September. And if that is the case, well, you might see this market really get going. You need somebody who's been in the market for more than 2 decades with $500 million in real estate sales in St. Louis. That's Jeff Lotman of Compass Realty. And they provide you with Compass Concierge. So with Compass Concierge, you can take your home buying or selling experience to the next level. Whether you're preparing to sell or want to enhance your new space, Compass Concierge has you covered. No upfront costs. You need fresh paint, new carpet, light renovations, home staging. Compass Concierge has you covered. They unlock exclusive benefits. You get your home market ready without upfront costs, increase your home's value hassle-free. Ready to elevate your real estate experience? Contact Compass today to learn how Compass Concierge can transform your home. Go to JEFFLOTTMANN.com. Yeah, JEFFLOTTMANN.com. And work with Jeff Lotman if you're looking to buy a home or looking to sell a home. Schaefer Door Company sponsor the text inbox 314-881-TMA5. Then you have Collier & Thompson, sponsor of our phone line 636-9004-TMA, and email in for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. My understanding is Ed Herman and Brody, his son, are here to talk it over. So Chairman Kurt, if you would like to bring them in, Brown and Crouppen, Doug, presenting sponsor of this program, and they come in on Tuesdays to talk it over with us, and then Larry Nickel comes on. I mean, Tuesdays are home runs.
Okay.
There's
there
Ed,
they are now.
and there is Brody.
fellas.
He's got a shirt with his father and Andy and Terry Crouppen, all on there from the three lawyers
How did I get
eating
so
sandwiches.
How did I get so short? What's with this chair?
I know. I
down
ask
here?
myself
Well, you can
that
raise
all the
it if you'd
time.
like.
It's an unfortunate thing. Yeah, they got my seat up.
Well, yeah, but if I raise it, I won't be so perfectly framed in the picture.
Oh, yeah.
all they'll
Jackson,
see is.
can you adjust the cameras?
Of course. Yeah.
Is that right?
Jackson, yeah.
I feel like they've really made me into a little person.
Yeah.
Ooh, how about this, Doug? Breaking news. Tim, I'll be sending in an erotic story this afternoon. 3-way with 2 MILFs in North Little Rock.
No, I
We
think
don't need
it's-
that.
I think it's stuck. We'll just leave it be.
Okay.
Nobody can tell the difference in the
All
pay.
right. Well, we want you to be comfortable.
Well, I make a living.
Do you?
What's going on today, guys?
Well, Doug is unhappy that Missouri's not ranked in the top 10, and he's calling for heads to roll.
Right.
The Cardinals are staring into the abyss, Ed.
Yeah, that's about right.
Jackson is breaking down the Western Conference and the upcoming NHL training camp. So those are the 3 main things. And then finally, this one might activate you more than anything. Iggy invited OnlyFans teacher Megan Gaither to go to Green Day on Thursday night. She agreed after initially saying she could only go if she got a babysitter, which we thought might be a tell. But then, after she came
Particularly since she has no children.
that would have been one of the screaming tells. But then secondarily, after they had a conversation on the air yesterday, Iggy revealed he didn't have tickets, and if the station doesn't provide him with tickets, he will not be buying tickets. So Megan got a babysitter and is prepared to go with Iggy, but if he can't get tickets, he's not going, so therefore the date would not happen. And to be clear, she says it's not a date.
It's not a date. She has a boyfriend.
That's correct.
Right.
This is, but you don't just get to say something is not a date. I mean, a date does have a definite. I mean, if a man and a woman they go out to on an evening together, I think it's a date. I think it doesn't matter what you call it.
Yeah.
Call it whatever you want.
Yeah.
I can't have these on this.
You don't like those?
We're probably not taking phone calls anyway.
But we should.
You want to take phone calls?
Yeah,
All right,
think we
call
ought.
in.
That'll stimulate us. Yeah.
636-9004-TMA.
Yeah, let's get some calls in
Doug,
here.
you like
Let's
that?
have a
You
little
love the
fun.
phone lines. That's your
Our phone
favorite
lines are
part.
poison, Ed.
Is that right?
There's
But
some
you know what? But
crazy
you know what? Maybe I want to self-punish today. Maybe I.
Good way to do it.
Every so often, a little self-flagellation.
Okay.
But no, I'm familiar with Megan's work, not as a teacher. But I have to say, like, I was one of those people out of curiosity. A lot of us were at the office curious about, her and Brianna and their journey. Very supportive.
So you're a subscriber?
I was. I only kept it for a short period of time, more of a curiosity more than anything. I think that just that connection to the story because we're so close in physical proximity. And no knock on her work. She gave it her all. But I let this subscription expire.
You did let it expire?
I did. I gave it a couple of months. I don't want you to think it was just in and out. I gave it a few months because
I like that. Double entendre.
I wanted to see what direction things went in.
In what direction did things go?
They went down.
Oh no!
That was the main direction that I observed.
Now, when you say I feel obligated to ask a follow up. When you say they went down, what does that mean?
I think in every sense of the word. Well, listen, and no knock on her. She's a perfectly lovely young woman, and I have total respect for her and Brianna and all these people who are like, you know what? We're living in a double standard society. I've been giving away this stuff for free for years for people who don't take care of me at all. If there are strangers out there that I could have a mutually beneficial relationship with, why not?
Amen.
I mean, who the hell are we to judge? We're nobody. We've all sold ourselves, whether it's we're selling our bodies, selling our souls, selling out our values. We've all sold something that we didn't want to sell, but we wanted what was on the other side of that purchase. So, we're in no position to judge.
The thing that I said this to Brianna, both she came in studio and did my podcast. Once you're out there and you've already gone through a true shaming process, lost her job and then the shaming and then her husband dealt with it. From my standpoint, and this is me and I'm not living her life, so it's really not fair. But I'm like, okay, at this point, and she sat down with the producers of the biggest studio in adult, that you could increase your recognition and therefore increase your income ridiculously substantially. But my understanding is she chose not to do that and kind of wanted to hedge and just do the OnlyFans thing. And I thought you got to kind of seize this moment because in a matter of months, most likely, that being a big part of the cultural zeitgeist is going to pass, and therefore this is your chance to build up a brand bigger than being written about in the New York Post. But she chose not to do that and only do the OnlyFans thing. And I guess her reason was she didn't want to go all in. And hey, it's her body and it's her life, and she also has a family, and that's a big part of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, the thing that allows you to do anything is the sense that you're in control of it. If you set a boundary and then you stick to your boundary, you can feel good about your choices. You got to respect her boundary. She set a boundary. There was a difference in her mind between this and that. Maybe because she gets to produce her own content and feel like she's in control, so that if she's not comfortable doing anything, she doesn't have to do it. She doesn't have to broadcast it. The second you give that control up to somebody else, you maybe don't feel good about yourself.
Yeah, that might have been it. Yeah.
I mean, listen, people can be out there and they can judge all they want from their purchase. But if they really look at their own lives, I mean, we do the best we can. We make hard choices. Life is not easy. So I respect her. And as far as her work goes, I mean, I think she would have benefited from a better producer. I could have come up with some great ideas for her. I think I got a little. I do. Listen, I have a vivid imagination.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, of course. And I feel like I could
having
have
your own page.
The thing is
Doesn't he have a fan page on Facebook, don't you?
Yeah, but not an OnlyFans page. Let me tell you something. I'm one of those people. I'm lucky if I can get people to listen to me for free. I don't know that they're going to pay a nickel. And of course, I shouldn't say that. You have no idea what crazy fetishes people have out there.
Right.
Doug kink shames, Ed, and we're trying to stop him from doing
quite
it.
a bit, so. Yeah.
Is that right? I mean, listen, I hear there are people out there apparently just putting pictures of feet on there and making a fortune.
Lisa Ann would tell us that she would just be sitting at her pool I think she had a pool at her rooftop in Manhattan, and she'd be like, you know what? I know what's going to happen if I just take a picture right now of my feet and then put it up there for whatever it would be, and then make thousands of dollars just from just a picture while she's sitting on like a chair tanning. How about that?
That's amazing. Nobody wants maybe people do want pictures of my feet. It's not like I've tested the market.
Doug, you've said something off air that you wouldn't mind seeing a picture of Ed's feet.
Love to if you have any.
Listen, for Doug, for you, I show you the real thing.
Oh!
You don't even. I give you the full experience because there's more than just the visual. They're scented.
And tatted up too.
They are tatted up.
You have tatted
up.
I do. I have my daughter's name and birthday on one foot, and my son's name and his birthday on the other foot.
How's that
and then it's a beautiful tribute.
It's very hot.
How much do you think that would go for on OnlyFans?
About $20 a month.
Really? $20 a month just to see that there?
Yep.
I could reveal one letter at a time very seductively.
Like a ransom letter.
Yeah. It's like, there's the bee. Where's it going after this?
These women need you as a producer, Ed.
Are there women looking at my feet? I thought just
they
men.
need you as their producer,
They
too.
do. I should. That's what they need. Is they need like one guy,
Director.
who's a little perverse with an active imagination,
Right.
just whispering in their ear, little thoughts, little suggestions, I have a way of making it sound perfectly normal. Yeah, that's the gift. That's the downside of being somebody who's good at creating safe space, because you can do it to really help people, but you can also do it to get people to do things. And I think that might be my gift. I mean, beyond these other things.
Yeah. So you would keep the job as a lawyer and just do this on the side?
Moonlighting.
You're not thinking
well, listen, I
giving up
think
the law firm.
it depends if it got lucrative to a certain point, and if I felt like I was doing, better work for society in my role as an OnlyFans producer than I am as a champion of justice, I would make that move over. I'm just here to benefit society.
What if your job is a lawyer and OnlyFans paid the same? Which
I guess
would you do?
whichever one took me less time.
That's accurate.
Don't you think? I mean, listen, I'm not gonna. And I'm a hardworking guy, but that doesn't mean that I want to spend my whole life working hard. Just because you can do something doesn't mean that that's all you want to do.
So, what do you enjoy doing in your leisure time?
Okay, this is a standard night for me. So this is going to make all the listeners sound much happier because it's going to make them feel great about their lives. I spend most of my nights putting on reruns of early seasons of Shark Tank, and then looking up and seeing what happened to the products.
Like, that kind of interests me.
Yeah, did it? I want to do a whole podcast on it because I analyze these pitches and I talk to the screen. Like, I get real angry at them, and I'll yell at them for...
Who are you yelling at? The Sharks or the guys pitching there raising capital?
Both, but usually the Sharks because... And I enjoy the show. I've tried about half the products, and... but I'll yell at them, say, "Oh, you're so arrogant! You're shooting this guy down. You're humiliating him. He's worth more than you. You have no idea what he became after this." Like Bombas, when Bombas was on the Sox, and they're ripping on him for they're socks. You can't. You don't have enough margin.
What is I don't know the history on this. What's the?
Well, Bombas is a sock brand, and they're for every pair of socks they sell, they give one to homeless. It's a nice organization. They started on Shark Tank, and they got a deal with Damon John, who's the fashion guy on the show. But they were heavily scrutinized and criticized for their valuation, and the fact that it's just socks, and Kevin's such a know-it-all, and now Bombas is worth over $1 billion.
Oh yeah,
It's more than $1 billion company.
Holy crap!
And they at least got a deal. Ring.com. There's the Ring doorbells.
Sure, that started on Shark Tank.
They were on Shark Tank. Right? It was originally called Doorbot. It was Jamie Simino. And they didn't get a deal. They'd get one or two bad offers, but no deal. And now Jamie Simino, he sold Ring for over $1 billion to Amazon, and he himself now he's a billionaire. He has a higher net worth than every one of the regular Sharks except for Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban's worth a lot more. But how satisfying is that? You go on a show, you pitch your product. They act like the know-it-alls. They don't want to invest in you. And within a couple of years, you can buy. In fact, Jamie Simino is worth, all the other Sharks combined, is basically what this guy is worth now, other than Mark Cuban. So I like that. I get some kind of weird satisfaction watching these old episodes. Yeah. And if the product is still around and they're making money, I'm very happy. I want them to succeed. I want to see these people they're putting so much into it. I try all the products, half of them I would say, not the services. I don't want people to think I'm out there trying all the services being pitched. But when they're on there with food products and other products, I get so naturally curious. I get right on my phone, and if it's still available, boom, Order it, bring it in. Probably half the things I have on started off as Shark Tank products, including these shoes.
Oh,
See
those
these?
are on Shark Tank.
Those were on Shark
Boy,
Tank.
Was this the way to get to your feet?
Oh, it's hot.
Oh my God! Doug's eyes immediately moved down.
Yeah.
And
It's
now
hot, man. You're a bad boy.
he
You're a
appears
real bad boy.
you can't see it, but he appears to be salivating. So yeah, no, that's a typical night. And if there's a ball game on, I'll watch the ball game. Of course. And that's it.
Did you enjoy the Cardinals and Reds last night?
No. How could you? Although
Not
I
a
have
lot there.
You know what? I do have to say though that Andrew Abbott, who is pitching for the Reds, is on my fantasy baseball team.
Wow.
So
You've endured some rough starts.
He's had a pretty good season though, and he's still very young. I think he's like 24 years old, and he's a big, tall lefty. And I'll keep an eye on a guy like that. I don't like to see him do well against the Cardinals. I mean, but the Cardinals, I feel like have been sputtering a little bit lately.
Yeah.
They need that one last push. Mm-hmm. Just one. If they could just it's like every team says that, right? If we could just put 6 or 7 wins
We
together,
can just get hot. We can win this.
Doug said it
baby.
before. Doug has said it before, and the Blues won the cup when that happened. Last time you said it, Doug.
If we can just get hot, we can win this baby.
Think about that.
That's what you have to keep saying.
Doug, let me ask you this. Just getting onto Mizzou for 1 second.
Yeah.
Why do we care where they rank a team at the beginning of the season?
Could not agree with you more. Here is the reality. Gabe DeArmond, who's probably, I would guess, synonymous with Missouri football coverage.
Great guy.
Yeah, I went to journalism school with him, so I've known him for 25 years. And I was listening to his podcast yesterday, and he goes, the reality is the people who are voting for these rankings that get some people all in a, pissy mood, get a chance to maybe see 2 or 3 games a week because they're covering the team, like Gabe is covering Missouri, for example. So he isn't sitting at home flipping through and watching, maybe 10 or 12 games. So you're getting some of the most, and I say it respectfully, but uninformed people, and then getting their opinions, which are really kind of based on an echo chamber of this team's supposed to be good, this team's supposed to be good, and I'll rank them where they're supposed to be. It could not be more irrelevant.
I understand that there's, that each week, depending on the strength of your schedule and your opponent, it may have a bigger impact on where you fall in the weekly rankings. But to care where you rank at the beginning of the season doesn't seem nearly as important as where they rank your opponents, because the strength of your opponents, as I understand it, is going to have a lot more to do with how much your wins bump you up.
Exactly right. So if you're a Missouri fan, week 1 to me is more about Texas A&M and Notre Dame than it is about Murray State. If Missouri loses to Murray State, then forget everything.
Right.
But if Texas A&M beats number 7 Notre Dame in these abstract rankings, either way, Notre Dame is expected to have a good year. You never know what happens with injuries and some performances with the transfer portal and so on. They've already lost a left tackle in camp. And if A&M beats them, and A&M is either a one-loss or undefeated team, when Missouri goes there in early October, that makes Missouri beating A&M more powerful.
Exactly. I mean, to me, that's the whole thing of it. And I would rather come into a season being underestimated than being overestimated if I'm a player. Mm-hmm. Count me out and give me something to prove, other than giving me the burden of telling me that I'm great and then I have to live up to it. Mm-hmm. So I don't think, I don't know. To me, it doesn't mean much, but it means something to you, and I guess that means something to me because I care about you, Doug.
It actually means next to nothing to me.
Right, and I barely know you, but I do. But
I don't know what actually does really matter to Doug now that I've actually just thought about that. I don't know what could get you upset sports-wise. I don't know what could get Doug. The only thing I think is when people you feel like aren't necessarily trying. That's the only thing I think.
Yeah, that upsets me.
But I mean, when's the last time you feel like you saw somebody who was out there just kind of like
not
going
trying.
through the motions?
Tyler O'Neill?
Well, not so much him. I don't have much of a beat.
No.
I don't know of anyone who does it consistently, or they wouldn't still be a professional athlete. But whenever you see somebody dog it, knowing that most males in the world grew up wanting to do what you're doing, and you can't give a little bit of an effort when you're out there making millions of dollars, that bugs me.
It does. On its face, that bugs you. But like anything else, like if you had to do anything, no matter how great it was, if you had to do it all day, every day, and you've been doing it that way since you were a kid, because, that's the thing with athletes. We say, well, their careers are so short, but an athletic career isn't really that short because most of the professionals basically, start at 4 or 5 years old and had some talent and then had the world of pressure around them to cultivate that talent for decades before they even make it to the pros. I'm just saying, like, I know that they're supposed to give maximum effort and they're in a glorious profession that we all, it's a dream profession. But like anything else, it's a grind. Like anything. I mean, I don't care how much you guys love your job here. One could argue that you're in a dream profession, right? How many
One
people
would have
out
to
there?
really argue hard about that.
No, they wouldn't. Come on. Where are the callers? You have to admit.
Go ahead, Jackson.
You have to admit, right? The callers will know.
We're more of a text-oriented program, but if people want to call in, they go to the front of the line, 636-9004-TMA.
But being on the radio is, again, people could argue that that's a glamour job. That's a dream job. And yet, it's a grind, and there are some days that you just have to go the extra to even have anything to say.
Okay, this reminds me of something I was talking about with my wife. Anybody familiar with Professor Scott Galloway? I could see you maybe being familiar with him. Okay. He's got a podcast that's taken off. I'm sure some people immediately say, I hate the guy, whatever. Either way, this is what I saw him say. He says, if you go to, and Doug, you've seen your kids graduate from school. What, Brody, you'll be graduating, I would imagine, here?
2025.
2025, so you'll see this.
Very soon.
Usually the speaker that universities have for the relatively, take your pick of departments, unless it's general education, will encourage the graduating seniors to chase their dreams, follow their passion. I just saw this. And he says we could not be telling people to be doing anything more incorrectly. His premise is to follow that which you are talented at, and then you will increase your probability of success, which increases your ability, both through time and money, to pursue your passions. And I thought that was an intriguing way.
It is. I actually heard that.
Okay.
I didn't know that it was attributed to that gentleman, but yes, no, I did hear that.
Because,
and I get the logic.
I want to
of
follow
it.
up because what you're talking about with this industry, the issue with it is a passion industry. I don't know if I can't imagine law would necessarily be considered that, but there's certainly a hell of a lot of lawyers and people going to law school. But in our industry, because there are so many people who want to do it, what it does is, I don't know if I even want to call it artificially, keeps the compensation down. But if you have like when I got the job working with Doug at Channel 4 in 2000, there were 189 tapes sent in for that job. And so if I started to negotiate as a 23-year-old, I guess, they would have been like, okay, we're going to pay some guy in Tulsa cut off his left nut to come in for $5,000
unless you prove yourself to be the best.
That's correct. But at that point, when you're coming up, you don't have leverage because you haven't had the chance. And so therefore, the salaries of people coming out of school in journalism or communications you're living well below the poverty level.
Right.
And you have to endure your 20s and hope you get a shot to prove that you matter to the bottom line. You'll always have people saying, oh, I love this guy, I hate this guy. The people who have the leverage are the one who move dollars, just like any other industry. And that if you leave the business, you actually hurt the bottom line. Otherwise, you're replaceable. And I don't feel like that's driven home enough in schools, and in particular in our industry. I sure as hell didn't hear anything about that at Missouri Journalism School, which is considered to be one of the best journalism schools in the country.
I get asked that question a lot by young people at the firm. How do I wind up? How do I get to the top of the rung? How do I make the most money possible?
What's your answer?
I always tell them, you have to make yourself indispensable. You make yourself indispensable. And which is what all the great ones have done.
So how do you do that in law?
The way you do it in law is, first of all, you got to work hard. I tell people, if you find a vacuum, fill it. If you see something that needs to be done and there's nobody doing it, claim it as your own and do it. Before you know it, you chart a course for yourself. There's too many people nowadays, and maybe they always did, but it certainly seems more nowadays, that have an attitude that, that's not my job. That's not within my job description. We'll have some of these younger people that we'll ask them to do something, and they'll say, will there be additional compensation for that? Because that wasn't what I was hired for. That kind of attitude, I don't want any part of that. Like, I'll never... The only people that do really, really well, I only ask 2 questions of all the people, and like when I'm evaluating my people, I say, did this person make my life easier? Does this person help me make money? Because that's why you're in business. Ultimately, it has to provide for you. And if the answer is yes to both of those things, they do well, they continue to move on, get more opportunities. If the answer is no to either one of them, you're either they can work there, but it's not going to be anywhere near where I am. They're just doing their own little task, but they're not going to advance very much. You got to make yourself indispensable. But like that's why even on baseball teams, every team has one or two people that are playing on a whole other level. It's as if it's another game. And then they're standing right next to other guys in the locker room that are getting a fraction of what they're getting. And they're both professional athletes. They've both been working hard at it their whole life. There's just a difference. There's a difference between, Ben Rice at first base for the Yankees and Aaron Judge in center field. That's the same sport. The bat right next to each other in the lineup. It's a huge gap. Yeah, you're talking about almost over $30 million a year gap. And yet it makes sense. Right? And we kind of look at that. We kind of, in some ways, wish all jobs were like that. I mean, how much harder would people work if there really was a direct correlation between how good they were at their job and how much they got to make? Some jobs have that correlation. Some jobs, people just don't pay attention to it. But I don't know if, though, I following your passion, I think it depends on what your goal is. I think if your goal is to make a lot of money, it probably makes more sense to follow your talent than follow your passion. But if your goal is like happiness, I don't know. I think following your passion probably is still the shortest distance to happiness than going all the way around and thinking I'm going to accumulate money and then I'm going to parlay that into happiness. But he's probably right, technically.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it depends industry by industry. What I'm saying specific to this industry, and I don't know, Doug, I don't know. I mean, when you started, and you were in Rochester, Minnesota, but then you got to Miami, and Miami's grown since then, correct? It's bigger market now, isn't it? Or is it
a little bit? Yeah.
Okay.
It was like 12 or 13 when I was there.
And what was St. Louis when you started here?
But when I started, I think it was 18.
Wow. Now it's 23.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's been dropping.
So it's been dropping. Point being, it's like sports. It's a pyramid. So. And not even everybody, but a lot of people who go to these communications or journalism schools will get a first job, but not everybody. And you're talking about making something in either the teens or 20s to start, and then as time goes on and you go from market 100, whatever it is, maybe you can get to market 50 or 60, but you're still making 20s or 30s, and then the goal becomes get to a top 25 market. I mean, that's what it was. Now, the thing that's different, and I think is great, which is why I think learning about business in our industry is so important, is the people who are making the most money in this industry, for the most part, not everybody, but for the most part, they're the ones doing their own thing and then distributing it. And that was not the way it was. It used to be you want to be on the biggest station in the biggest market possible. And that's not necessarily the way that it works.
You can cut through all of that if you are talented enough on your own.
But then you got to have some business acumen to own it, distribute it, sell it, or create a model in which people are paying to subscribe to. And that is how it's changed.
Now, you've done all of that personally.
To an extent. I licensed the intellectual property of this show to Hubbard, and I licensed the intellectual property of the show to KFNS beforehand. So all of us on the show are paid by Hubbard, and then Hubbard gets to sell the show, and God bless, profit away.
Right, but you chartered your own course.
That's correct.
Made these, and you've got other podcasts that you do and stuff. And that's the thing, is I think with YouTube, that's where the shift started to happen.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, so as soon as people could produce their own content, say, I'm going to take what I have directly to the public. I can self-publish a book. I don't have to find a publisher. I can get my music on Apple Music. I don't have to find a record deal.
It cuts out the middleman, and then that increases the margin for the talent who actually can mobilize an audience and to generate a return for advertisers. And when it's all said and done, that's all that this is about.
Right, and that's why you can have somebody like that Hawk 2 girl.
That's right.
Who I have to say is charming. I find her to be a delight. I didn't want to like her. I wanted to think she was just like a nothing and dismiss that whole thing.
She's approaching 2 months, so she's extended the 15 minutes.
She has, and you know what? I think she's done it. Whoever's given her advice on how to do that has given her the best possible advice, because she's out there. She's not letting her entire personality being defined by the video that broke her into the public consciousness. She's put out so much content. She's shown a lot of personality. She's a sweet kid, and that's all she is. She's a kid. She's just a sweet kid. And whoever's given her the advice, she's milked it. She's made a few bucks. She'll have some great stories to tell. And instead of it being some kind of trashy legacy, it's becoming sort of a a very sweet ride that we're all getting to kind of observe.
And we're getting some texts. We're not, Jackson, no phone calls. It's more of a text-oriented. Am I correct on that? Or
That's correct, yep.
Okay.
I'm offended.
Doug, they don't really call in on this show. It's more of a text thing.
They get berated if they call in. Everybody hates
I mean,
them.
there's, you can see the billion texts. but
Really?
they-
Well, I don't see any of them. What do they
Oh,
say?
well, here you go.
I
Come on, I'm going to come
You're
on into
assuming
the
I can read.
Schaefer Door Company text inbox. Ed's going to see the text, so if you want to see him. What's wrong with asking for more money to take on more responsibilities? A one-off, sure, whatever, but to be upset with someone asking to be compensated for expanding their job responsibilities is asinine. Doug, that's Brian Henshin.
Come on, Henshin.
And he writes for the Indianapolis Star-Tribune and covers the Colts.
Oh, CBC graduate. Shout out to Brian, by the way.
you know Brian?
Listen,
I do.
Brian, I understand that perspective, and I think that if you establish that you have additional value, once you've shown that you can do additional responsibilities, then by all means, you have every right to negotiate your leverage. But you can't be so stupid that you can't recognize when you're being given an opportunity, you're being given a shot to step up and prove that you're capable of doing something. The problem with asking for compensation for it first is you've really shot yourself in the foot. For one, you've sent the message to the employer to be like, yeah, this person's really not looking to advance and work in their career. They're a pay-for-play person, and nobody wants that in their organization. So you're just hurting yourself strategically. But if you prove you can do the job, it becomes a part of your normal job. You prove the value, then you get paid for the value. But sometimes you got to prove yourself first and get the money after, and not the other way around.
What do you think of this text, which was sent in here seconds ago by the Hunchback of Von Castle? No business is going to pay you more to do more. They will pay you more because you bring more value than a replacement.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little bit of a harsh, a little harsh, but I understand that there are a lot of places that would stick to that exact rule. I can't say that that doesn't exist. We're not like that. I mean, I'm all about trying to cultivate people's careers. I think it's a huge deal when people come to work for us because I figure, this isn't like a small operation. People come to us for a career, not for a job. I take the fact that they're looking for a career seriously, and I want to help to develop their career by developing their skill set as they move along, by giving them more and more opportunities so that they're in a position to actually be worth the kind of money that they're looking for. But a lot of people want the prize before they've done the work. They want the medal. They haven't run the race. Show me you could run the race, I'll give you a medal.
What happens to some people, though, they feel like the more they do at work, the more is expected of them at work, and they get the extra work thrown at them because somebody else might constantly complain to the boss. I don't want to do that. So, okay, they just don't bother with that person, and they go to the people willing to do the work and just heap more on them.
Right. I was that guy, and now I own the company. So let me give people some ideas. Yeah, be the one willing to step up and do the work. Then you get to be the one eventually that owns stuff, makes the rules, and makes the money. Believe me, I didn't get to where I am by being the person who avoided taking on the extra. Now, that doesn't mean that there's not more than one pathway to success, but that was mine. So, yeah, there's always going to be workers and there's always going to be slackers. Reward the workers, don't promote the slackers.
Yeah.
And I don't mind a slacker. I mean, if you don't want to work hard, you just want to make a paycheck and have at it.
But just don't infect the rest of the business.
Right. Well, it won't be in my business to infect it, but go infect somebody else's business.
Right,
I have no judgment.
Well, I mean, on this program, Jackson's going to get uncomfortable, and I don't really care. Jackson is a perfect example because when we were coming over here, and I was, talking with the people who own Hubbard, and I'm like, well, I want the whole group on the show to be on the show, and they're like, well, who's Jackson? And I go, well, he just started because he had just started with us. I mean, you started in December of 20, November 20, whatever that was, and these conversations started in March of 2021. They're like, we just can't be bringing everybody over. And I go, just trust me, this guy is going to work. And now it's at a point that if I were to leave, they would, I would imagine, when I went and did something else, they would not only do everything to keep Jackson, but I would imagine Jackson's compensation would continue to increase, not just because he has willingly taken on more, never complains, I don't know what, I don't ever heard him complain, and then has a good attitude. And then
he does it, and then he does the job.
And that's the thing. What you realize when you do employ people is you don't want to hear how tough it was. Did it get done or did it not? and that's it. And you might not like the way that works, but that's the way that the
I want you,
world
and I
works.
want you to imagine the first time that you had to miss a day and Jackson was going to fill in to run point on the show. What do you think would have happened if, when people looked to Jackson, today's your big break. You're the understudy. You got a chance to lead the show. What if his response had been, fantastic, how much more are you going to pay me to lead the show today?
And I actually have had people who have not on our show, but when we were at 920, I had that kind of stuff going on.
Right, and I can tell you this much about those people. They're not leading any shows.
No, they're not in this industry.
No, because as soon as he would say, how much more am I going to pay to run point, you say, you know what? We're going to give it to some. We'll ask Ed to come in and run point for the day, and because he's not going to charge us. but if you go the other way, which I imagine you did, where you were just seized the opportunity and said, "Hey, tune in today, man. I'm the guy." You do that a few times and you prove that you can do it. Now all of a sudden they look at you, like you say, and say, well, we got to take better care of this guy.
Absolutely.
He's our understudy. He's the one we have in our back pocket. He may be the thing that helps sustain the show down the road.
Exactly right.
And that's where you become indispensable.
Right.
He's more indispensable now as he's proven himself to be a formidable quarterback.
Right.
Than if that had never happened.
And then there's another element to it, which isn't necessarily asking for additional compensation. It's body language tells or words that are spoken, but oftentimes it's body language tells of being pissy about having to do something additional. You know what I mean?
Right.
As opposed to going, okay, I get it. This is the deal. This is what I got to do. And I'm telling you, that is, in my experience, that is what separates the people who are going in this direction versus the people who are going in that direction or will just be out of this particular industry.
It's the difference between seeing things as opportunities.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
And that's, to me, that's the sign of the most successful person. You say, what does a successful person has? They spot the opportunity. Always spot the opportunity. And then they take it.
Jackson, you uncomfortable with us talking about you with you sitting 6 feet away?
I appreciate the kind words. All I'll say is if you chop enough wood and carry enough water, eventually you'll build a house.
Doug, did you hear that?
What's the water have to do with the house?
You got thirsty.
Plumbing. You ever heard of plumbing?
Okay, and also, if you're going to carry all that wood, you're going to get parched.
Yeah, right.
You're going to need a cold sip.
Absolutely, you'll need a cold sip.
Okay.
Who else is got questions or passing judgment?
They're coming in fast and furious, so you can scroll through.
Is it all just hate? Because now I'm like,
it's that's about 90% of it, but yeah. That's the cost of doing business in here.
Yeah, that's the water you carry.
Hey, listen.
That's right.
I like those glasses.
Half glasses.
Wow. These are Shark Tank
Doug,
products.
look at the glasses. They don't even go around the ears. They shoot around the...
And you just wear them as a bracelet.
Holy moly.
Looks like an X-Man.
It just sits there the whole day because I need them 40, 50 times a day. One-handed operation. This is called the Iris.
Yeah.
You saw it on Shark Tank.
EYEWRAS. It is a Shark Tank product.
How's that business doing?
Every single shark invested. It was one of the few products that all 5 went in on. And they're great. I have 3 different pairs of these just so I have different
It
colors.
pinches your temples. It doesn't go around
wait
your
a second. This is one directed to me. Somebody.
There are a lot of them are just Doug and Vance
but
will apologize
one of them
for title sponsor.
Looked like, but it looked like somebody was offering me a wonderful night.
Here, I think it's this one. Doug, Dirty Chewbacca has made it through.
Sure, that's a lady.
Does Ed want to make out with a busty 34-year-old woman? He has a golden throat.
Oh my God.
Doug, what would you tell Ed about Dirty Chewbacca?
It's no more a woman than you are, Ed.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And yet, I'm so thirsty for a wonderful compliment that I don't know that I'm in any position to refuse this person.
Hold on your iris, you're halfway there.
But what else we got? All right, somebody is suggesting that I start an OnlyFans and just wear my Titan 100 Hall of Fame helmet and socks. I would love to do that.
Let's call her Buzz, Doug, making his way through.
Gosh, No, he's got to wear the Versace robe, not the Titan 100.
Well, I don't have the helmet because I'm not in the Hall of Fame yet. I only made the Titan 100 this last year for the first time. You have to get on there 3 times to be eligible. So who knows? Maybe down the road. But if that does happen, I will absolutely wear that helmet everywhere I go. So for anybody out there who makes those decisions about the Titan Hall of Fame, just know that I will wear that helmet. I mean, it's a great helmet.
It's a
like one of
wonderful
those
helmet.
Viking helmets.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's the real deal.
Oh, Buzz wants to see on OnlyFans wearing it. I don't know what Stephen Time is making reference to, but he says, I couldn't agree more. Anyone who is texting the opposite is a loser. That's from Stephen Time, but I'm not sure what he's referencing. We've
I'm
talked
just
about
going
so
to
much.
listen. I'm just going to assume that he's agreeing with everything I say because it makes me feel better. That said, I can appreciate that mine isn't the only opinion on it. I hope people don't think that I'm coming out here and putting this out there like this is the only way. Oh, like Long Balls told me to suck his balls, but in all fairness, he said respectfully.
He did. I can vouch for it.
Respectfully. And let me say
Our
this:
baseball team is called Breaking Balls.
Breaking Balls, like Breaking Bad. It's a nice play on words. But anyway, no, listen, Long Balls. Let me ask. I want to ask Long Balls a question because I'm going to assume, based on your name, that your balls have lengthened over the course of time.
Clip that off.
Do they float? Do they take a dip when you go to the bathroom? And if so, have you figured out anything to do about that? Asking for a friend.
It's called a witch's kiss.
Doug, do you like that term,
I
witch's
don't
kiss?
like it at all.
Chairman, I'd like a witch's kiss
We
T-shirt.
need to get shirts that say
witch's kiss. That could be the name of the Southside.
What is
scene.
this?
What do we got?
Oh, I'm a wealther version of Iggy.
No, that's Mr. Siders. He's very critical of Jackson's 7-iron distance.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's a. I think he's somehow found a way to insult both of us, but that's okay because I don't know that it takes. I don't know much about Iggy's finances, but I'm guessing that just about everybody is a wealthier form of Iggy. Let's see, Zach's wife's Gummy. Who's Gummy? Oh, this is an encouragement for Iggy and I to do a podcast together. Where we each try to one-up each other. Okay, I could do that. All right. Now, this person says that their balls dropped noticeably right after their vasectomy.
Yep.
Does that I have not had a vasectomy. Is that a thing?
I got to get on it. And I got to get on it stat.
With my looks and personality, it was deemed an unnecessary operation.
There you go. Can somebody? I want to know if that's a thing. Has anybody else had a vasectomy? And
I
found
doubt
that
anybody else on the show has had a vasectomy. I guess it means nobody's on the...
Let's see. This person says something. That's
Brian
why
Henson.
are we doing this all the time?
Oh, yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. The text is where everything's at.
Is Doug Lena? Oh no. And just because you add the word respectfully to the end of something doesn't. I don't even know what I'm allowed to read on here because I don't know where the lines are.
There are no FCC violations on that one. If you did want to read it, that's Brian Henson.
Brian Henson.
He's a snootful.
Doug, they would like you to strip down and fart in their mouths. But wait a second.
Ed.
But this is what it says.
Wait, is that what Brian said?
It does. But listen. But he'd like you to. He says respectfully.
Yeah, if you could.
He does. It actually
so you're
does
fine
say
with
that.
it.
This is a writer for the Indianapolis Star. Just wrote that in.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson.
Okay.
What? Oh my God.
All right.
We love Brian.
Okay. Now this fella here, Flocky the Smurf, he says that his balls are like a teapot, short, stout, and steamy.
Clip that off.
Yeah, no, he didn't mention whether he'd had a vasectomy or not. Wait a second. Somebody did have a vasectomy, and they're coming on and lighting up our world. And he says, I've had a vasectomy. The scariest part was the first load dropped post-procedure.
Huh.
I guess that's
from our fan page moderator, Neil
maiden
Craig
load.
Paquette.
Yeah,
The maiden load. Is that what it's called?
Is that right?
Maiden load.
I can imagine.
You know, I would imagine.
We need
I would
more
imagine
shirts
that
like this.
that would be a
Witch's Kiss,
tremendous.
maiden load.
Don't you think that would be a tremendous relief? I've not had a vasectomy, but I have to believe that the single biggest fear amongst those who have had it was that they would not be able to complete.
Yeah, the cycle.
Yes, finish. To get to the other side.
Yeah.
Ed, what's your favorite brand of wiener grease? I'm actually.
Where are these questions coming from?
That's Mr. Nipples stuff.
Well, now they
Mr.
know he's
Nipples.
breathing.
I don't want to disappoint him, but let's just say that I'm a big fan of the dry rub.
It's more of a Memphis thing.
Ed, is it considered incest if you make out with the guy who got your stepdad's heart transplant? Respectfully.
Oh.
You're a gentleman who enjoys a dry rub once in a while?
Yeah, of course. Listen, who doesn't? You know what? I don't think that that's. I don't think that that's incest.
Say that again. You made out with your stepdad.
You made out with the guy who got your stepdad's heart transplant.
Yeah.
Is that incest?
Well, the stepdad is not a blood relative.
No, but you don't have to be a blood relative for it to be considered incest, because an adoption is still incest.
There was something about you saying that with taking your glasses off. Yes,
I'm very
like
Sir,
you've encountered this before.
Let me just explain
like
that.
Donald Sutherland and
otherwise, if that wasn't the case, Doug, you would have a lot of people, adopting children for immoral purposes. That's definitely considered incest. So,
all right, let's go with one more, and there's a lot to choose from. This guy's also a sponsor, the recovering alcoholic from Belleville and Webster Groves. You want to read this, Doug? You always like his texts.
Well, I don't know. He's been suspended.
Well, the question that we've have from recovering alcoholic, this came in at 8:39 this morning, said, "Hey, Ed, how do you prefer your salad tossed?
Oh!
Tummy or pull up dem knees?"
Oh!
I like how you read it verbatim.
This is the show that you sponsor.
No. Listen. I live for this stuff. From now on.
You're on text all the time.
Listen, we're just going to interact with the people.
Okay.
Listen, they deserve the platform. They're loyal. They have a voice. They have something to say. Recovering alcoholic. He wants to know about my salad tossing preferences, and I don't really. I of course know what the expression means.
Right.
I've heard it. It doesn't sound like something I would want to do for somebody or have done upon me.
No.
So I don't know if what the difference though between tummy or dem knees. So that's if you can recovering alcoholic. I apologize for my ignorance. If you can flesh that out a little bit more, that would be great. Somebody wants to know if they have a valid lawsuit. Okay.
They're going to get the free evaluation now.
This is from Wedding Tackle. It says, Ed, do I have a valid lawsuit against my wife locking me outside all night because she caught me naked flogging my neighbor Cliff? I would say this. It's marital property. That house is half yours. She has no right to keep you out. Maybe if she was under threat of physical violence, she would have an argument. But just because you were naked and flogging your neighbor Cliff, that is not grounds to deprive you of your property. So, no, half that house is yours, buddy. Have at it.
Yep, there you go, Doug. That's good counsel right there.
What happens to Cliff?
He just has to sit there flogged.
Listen, Cliff has already been taken care of in this scenario.
More ways than one.
Okay. Now, again, I'm not up on. You know what I need to get is an Urban Dictionary.
Yeah.
Because apparently all of your listeners are operating from one. This says, "Hi, Ed. What are your thoughts on docking? Is it gay to dock? Iggy would like to know." Okay, I'm going to show my ignorance. Just Jackson, I don't want to get that wrong. What exactly is docking? I have not heard this expression.
Explain this for terrestrial radio.
Yeah.
So if you have a gentleman. And you take another gentleman, and you were to point their hips towards each other, and begin to walk forward till a point where their members would then touch. And then what essentially happens would be like when the finger goes in the Chinese finger trap.
Yeah.
And then they become one.
They're both uncircumcised. You got to remember that.
Both got to be uncircumcised, so they can't participate.
I'm Jewish, so this is a Gentile question.
Docking has never been part of our culture.
No, we were. If you want to talk about it.
Listen, nobody wants us in their country. Nobody wants us in their dock.
There it is, Ed Herman and Brody. What a wonderful segment. Ed interacting with the text inbox. We can just give you the password, and you can go in there and talk with them all day long.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, what a treat it would be. We'll close out the Munganess St. Louis Acura Munganess Burkhardt 7 o'clock hour. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Brody.
God.
This is TMA presented to you by Brown and Crouppen.
KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I regret not managing my finances better in my 20s and my 30s, and now I see how crucial it is for achieving major life goals. Mark Hannon with Evergreen Wealth Strategies helps everyday people every day with their finances, discussing cash flow, liquidity, investments, insurance, and tax-efficient strategies. No matter your financial planning stage, Mark will boost your confidence and keep you on track. Learn more at evergreenstl.com. EquitableFinancialStrategyes.com.
Equitable Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, a broker-dealer and a SEC-registered investment advisor. Equitable Financial Advisors and MI. Evergreen Wealth Strategies is not a registered investment advisor and does not provide tax advice.
If you want a first-class, top-of-the-line, high-quality interior remodeling job, you know who I'm going to suggest. Collier & Thompson. Known for their kitchen and bathroom remodels, Collier & Thompson is where you go when you want your remodeling job done right the first time. Collier & Thompson doesn't just do large remodeling jobs. They do plenty of man caves, bars, offices, pretty much anything inside your home. Check out their 10,000-square-foot showroom next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House on Manchester. Let them bring your dream remodel to reality. CollierandThompson.com.
Rosalita's Cantina is known for having the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From carne con cerveza to shrimp diablo, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita. Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 and brunch at the De Pere location on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 to 3. Check out RosalitasCantina.com or visit the downtown or De Pere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
Elevate your performance. Pure Performance is your one-stop shop for all aftermarket modifications. Known for their top quality work and outstanding customer service. It's officially Jeep and Bronco season. Pure Performance carries any accessory for your vehicle, old models to brand new. From sunshades, soft tops, trail doors, to off-road gear like bumpers and light bars, Pure Performance has you covered. Stop by the Pure Performance showroom at 3725 Harry S. Truman Boulevard in St. Charles or visit pureperformance.com. That's PURperformance.com.
There's nothing more important than the look and feel of your home. So now's the time to make your home your retreat. Replace your tired old windows and doors with Marvin replacement products designed to improve comfort and efficiency. Fisher Window and Door Store, a reputable local company, will guide you through the entire replacement process. Their experts will help you make the right choice for your home, and they'll measure, design, and install your new windows and doors.
Hi, I'm Jim Fisher. Since 1941, the Fisher family has provided you with quality American-made building products, including Marvin Windows and Doors. Come visit one of our showrooms in Brentwood or East Alton, and let us help you increase the value of your home.
Bring that distinct sense of quality to every room with Marvin. Visit Fisher Window and Doors' huge, newly remodeled showroom in Brentwood or Fisher Lumber in East Alton, Illinois. Quality and comfort starts at Fisher Window and Door. Online at fisherwindow.com.
The biggest pro football contests in Vegas are back. Circa Survivor and Circa Million are now up to a record $16 million in guaranteed prizes. 2 ways to win and no rake. Circa Survivor contestants select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all with $10 million guaranteed. In Circa Million, make 5 picks against the spread each week for your share of $6 million guaranteed through quarterly and full season payouts. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. Visit circasports.com for details.
This is the one.
Honey, I think you're right. This house has everything we've ever dreamed of. A huge master bedroom, an open kitchen, and a backyard with a fire pit and built-in grill.
I can't believe it. Finally, our dream home. It's absolutely perfect for us.
We owe our realtor big time.
No, you don't. We're just doing our job. At the Jeff Lotman Group, helping you find your dream home is our top priority. Bringing people and properties together. Call us at 314-406-8911 or visit us online at jefflotman.com.
The choice of a lawyer is important and shouldn't be based on an ad.
If you're seriously hurt in an accident, you'll want all the money you deserve. That's called justice. But there wouldn't be lawyers if justice was easy. No, justice is not easy. It's fought for and it's won. At Brown & Crouppen, we fight for justice every day. If you want some, call 222-2222. Because at Brown & Crouppen, justice is our business.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
Man, TMA likes to talk about golf.
The guy had barely put the flag back in, and I hit my wedge.
Incessant golf chatter.
And of course, the green is protected by bunkers.
Golf, 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 golf.
We can 1-2 putt in 2 seconds, and we can move on.
And now there's more reasons for TMA to talk about golf. The PGA Tour champions are back in town at the Ascension Charity Classic, September 3rd through September 8th at Norwood Hills Country Club. It's a must-see event, and it all benefits local charities. And you could win 4 18th Green hospitality tickets to the day of your choice. Friday through Sunday right here on TMA. Food and beverages are included with a perfect view of the closing hole. Enter keyword golf on your TMA mobile app or at TMASTL.com to win. And if you don't win, tickets start at just $20. And kids, military, veterans, and first responders get in free. Find out more at TMASTL.com.
Just pick it up or putt. It's stupid.
Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's sports talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app.
I spent 4 years in San Francisco.
It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After.
KPN-TFM, HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
Welcome back. It's time to start the 8 o'clock hour at 8:50, Doug.
Okay, right on
TMA.
time.
Presented to you by Brown and Crouppen, Fisher Window and Door, sponsor of the 8 o'clock hour here on the morning after. 9 o'clock hour now available for sponsorship. Studio sponsorships available for sponsorship.
Okay.
Why don't we go golfing, me and you, with a company that wants to be the studio sponsor, 9 o'clock hour sponsor? My treat. We'll go to my home track, and we'll wine and dine this company.
Mm-hmm.
We'll golf, and then we'll take the Camo V jet from Spirit to, we can't go too far, but let's go to New York for dinner after a round of golf, and then we'll come back that night.
No, I have to pilot the jet. Is that all right?
That's fine.
Travolta style.
I haven't flown before.
That's right. So, yeah, if you're interested in it, T. McKernan at InsideSCL.com. Let's get that studio sponsor, Doug, by taking prospective clients to New York City.
Okay. Do you think if you've never flown a plane before, you could sit in a small plane and maybe get it off the ground?
Nope.
No.
If you just had to figure it out yourself?
No shot. 0%.
No chance. That's what you've got, Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Could you get on YouTube and say how to fly a plane?
No way.
No?
The people go years of flight school for that.
Yeah, if you're going to be a trained pilot.
Right.
I mean, to not crash. I'm not saying you're not going to crash. I'm saying could you get it up in the air at all?
No. You probably wouldn't even be able to get it to move. You know how many buttons and levers there are on those planes?
But sooner or later you'd hit something and engines would roar, propellers would start
gas
whirling.
would fall out, or the wings would fall off.
Yeah.
No, I do not believe so.
It would be worth it. It'd be a funny thing to try. You go
Who's
first.
paying for the plane?
You go first.
Yeah, right.
Oh, there's probably some old plane they can't get rid of, and they're just going to junk it.
So you're going to take an old plane,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Doug, breaking news from Jeremy Rutherford. The Blues announced that they've tendered Edmonton defenseman Philip Broberg and forward Dylan Holloway to offer sheets.
Okay.
They've also made a trade with the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Penguins have acquired a 2026 second-round draft pick and a 2025 third-round draft pick from the Blues. The Blues receive a 2025 second-round pick and 2026 fifth-round pick. The reasoning is that those picks to satisfy the required compensation for Edmonton should the Oilers decline to match the offers for Broberg and Holloway. That's from Jeremy Rutherford this morning. Jackson, what do you like about Broberg's game, and what do you like about Holloway's game?
Oh, man. I mean, I don't even think we have enough time left in the program for me to share my thoughts on those two skaters. You know, ice hockey is a game of grit and determination, and those guys embody that full on. So I'm really excited to see what they look like in the Blue Note, and I think it's a great move by your St. Louis Blues.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, how about that?
Yeah, Broberg is a guy who just likes to play hockey.
Right.
I mean, he's a rink rat. Right. He'll get dressed. He'll get undressed after the game. There's times that he's going to shoot the puck. He won't always score, but sometimes he will and sometimes he won't.
Right. And it's the hard areas.
Holloway's a little different.
Right.
Holloway is a guy who will put the skates on one at a time, just like the fellow next to him, but will go out there and hope to win every game he plays in. This is why they wanted him.
Right.
Holloway likes to play on teams that win games.
Yeah.
This is why you go after a
And
fellow
stick awareness. That's what I think is overlooked.
Holloway has stick awareness. Broberg, I don't know.
Yeah, he always knows where his stick is. You're not going to catch him. He's not going to be in the sin bin for 2 minutes for high stick, and he knows where to keep his stick.
Both of them almost always take their sticks with them when they jump on the ice for their shifts.
Right. That's right. That's right.
It's nice to have guys like that.
Shouldn't cost much. He spent last year in the AHL. 23 years old.
Which one?
Broberg, number 8 pick overall in 2019.
Yeah.
Did my research.
Well, you're a blues expert, and you have been for many, many years.
A puckman.
No, I looked it up.
While we were on break? Or while Ed Herman was in
Just
here?
now. Well, I didn't know they made the trade until Tim said it.
Oh, okay.
Think I'm following Blues?
I don't know. I was hoping you were.
Wow, that is huge news. Seriously, Broberg could be a number 1 defenseman. Tim, cut these morons off. This is enormous. That's from Harrison's brother, Master. He is worked up about it.
Okay.
Sounds like he's going to cry.
Edmonton cannot match the offer sheets because they have no cap space. They are Edmonton's top 2 prospects.
All right.
So there you go.
I think that's what we just explained.
Yeah, glad they're on the note. Did it seem like we were downplaying?
You and I go deeper than the headlines.
That's what I'm saying.
I do like
deeper
that.
than the stats.
I do.
We'll go deeper than the rink.
I do like
We're
that.
below the rink watching the games.
Collier and Thompson is right there to do the work for you as well, Doug. They're the sponsor of the phone line, 636-9004-TMA. What can you tell me about Collier and Thompson?
Well, they're here to make your life a little easier and more enjoyable because they can improve your house. Maybe your wife or significant other, girlfriend, doesn't like the kitchen, doesn't like the bathroom, wants to move, and you're thinking, I don't want to move, I like it here. What are you going to do? How are you going to keep her happy? Well, you call Collier and Thompson. They will come in and make your home a happy place. They do all kinds of kitchens. Man, you see some of the kitchens that they've done. They've got a warehouse out there on Manchester and Baldwin, over 10,000 square feet, more than 20 kitchen displays. You'll be amazed at what you can do with your kitchen. Your tired old kitchen right now, it needs a facelift. It needs an upgrade, and Collier & Thompson can do it. They've been doing it since the 1950s. Their employees have more than 160 years of combined experience. Carolyn Beard and Bob Stride have been there as the owner for more than 20 years, and they're looking to hire some new lead contractors. So if you're a contractor of some kind and want to work for an outstanding company, this is it. Collier & Thompson is hiring. Almost everything with Collier & Thompson is right there in-house. You don't need to go to 5, 6, 7, 8 different places to remodel one room. It's all right there. With Collier & Thompson, you got the countertops, appliances, lighting, flooring, hardware, plumbing, electric, all right there in-house. Collier & Thompson is not one guy, jack of all trades, master of none. They have their own carpenters, their own specialized contractors, such as licensed electricians, plumbers, tile and drywall installers, and floor guys. Contractors you can trust. These are guys that get it done better than anyone else in town. They do absolutely first-class work at Collier & Thompson. You will be so happy that you use them to improve your house. Collier & Thompson is on Manchester and Baldwin, next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Collier & Thompson, come home to quality online at collierandthompson.com.
Do you want to support the EDF Group as a sponsor of TMA? Well, it's real simple. Do you have a fire extinguisher where you work? The answer is yes, you certainly do. So please email the EDF Group at fire@theedfgroup.com so a technician can come out and explain to your team how the EDF Group can save your company money. Again, that email address is fire@theedfgroup.com. The EDF Group is hot and will prevent your facility from having hot fires. Experience the EDF Group difference. Learn more at theedfgroup.com. Jackson, tell me about Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies and Do It Yeah.
We just broke down those two players of the Blues just got. Let me break down Mark Hanna for you. He's a great guy. He's a guy who knows how to communicate his message so effectively. There's a lot of people out there in the financial world who know a lot about finance. Obviously, that's what they do. It's their passion. It's certainly Mark Hanna's passion, but the way he communicates his message to his clients is what sets him apart, in my estimation. I love working with Mark Hanna. It starts with a 15, 20-minute phone call discussing your needs, where you want to be in life, your current situation, and then he walks you step by step through a plan that'll help you so you're educated, you know where your money's going, and if you've got on the phone with Mark, you either change up the plan or just check in on how things are going. He always loves talking to his clients. He really does. He's really a great guy and the perfect guy to have in your corner when it comes to something as important as your financial future. Call Mark Hanna today.
The number is 314-889-0503, or you can go online at evergreenstl.com. That's Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies. If you are dealing with decreased mental acuity, attention span, and stress can cause focus issues on even the most simple tasks, belly fat, feeling bloated, and a lack of lean muscle and tone that used to be easy to get rid of or maintain, low libido, disinterested in spouse or partner, which can lead to relationship problems. These are symptoms of low testosterone. Mentality is a local healthcare facility specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. The normal range for testosterone is large, so if you've been to a doctor and they told you that you were normal without understanding the range or testing your free testosterone, it was not fully looked at, come get checked with Mentality. Testosterone therapy helps men regain normal function and restore the ability to perform normally at all levels. Compete at work and at sports like you did years ago with Mentality. Go online at lowtusa.com. That's Mentality at lowtusa.com. Hey, we have a TMA app contest going on right now. To win tickets to the Ascension Charity Classic, you could win 4 18th Green hospitality tickets to the day of your choice, Friday through Sunday, right here on TMA. Food and beverages are included in this prize pack with a perfect view of the closing hole. Enter keyword golf on your TMA mobile app or at tmastl.com. There it is, the TMA app contest for the upcoming Ascension Charity Classic. Doug, Larry Nichols on the Collier and Thompson phone line.
Love to hear from him. Hello, Nick C.
What's up, Doug? How you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. You?
I'm doing okay. And I sent a text in when Ed was on the air saying that Doug needs to suspend people who pump and session Ed or anybody on the show for a period of 2 days' time.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Although Ed doesn't seem to mind. He likes the interaction, even if it's vile in nature.
I know, but you don't like those kind of texts, Doug.
I do
you know
not.
that.
You're correct about that. I do not. Thank you for never sending them.
I never do.
Okay. So what happened on the presentation last night?
Gee, Doug, thanks for asking.
Okay.
The main event last night was a 2 out of 3 falls match for the Intercontinental Championship. Because you know how back in the day, all the world title matches were contested under said rules, 2 out of 3 falls.
Oh, were they? Okay.
They brought that back last night for the Intercontinental Championship.
Okay.
It was Sami Zayn invoking his rematch clause against Braun Breaker, the current champion, who beat Sami for the title at SummerSlam this past Saturday. Sami won the first fall by pinfall.
Yeah.
And then Braun Breaker won the second fall by pinfall, so they went to the third and exciting fall. And the winner of the match, and still your Intercontinental Champion, Braun Breaker.
Okay. That surprise you at all?
Yeah.
It did. Okay.
Because I was hoping Sami will win his title back for a 5th time.
Oh, okay. Well, it didn't surprise anyone who works for the WWE because they knew what the outcome was before the match ever started.
No.
Doug?
Yeah.
What did you just say?
What was that?
What did you just say?
Oh, I said everyone knew what the outcome was going to be.
What you say?
Oh, I got rocked.
Wow.
So what else happened that we should know about? Anything else important? Predetermined?
Well, there is, but it contains to a WWE Hall of Famer complaining about a fashion being used too much.
Okay.
It was WWE Hall of Famer Bubba Ray Dudley, otherwise known as Bully Ray on TNA.
Bully Ray?
Bully Ray.
Okay.
He was talking on Facebook via Fightful Select that the Final Testament is being used too much because all they care about is beating people up no matter what.
Wasn't that the whole object of it?
Yeah, but they don't care who they hurt. They're trying to just hurt people.
Oh, okay. All right. I guess I misunderstood the whole purpose of the exercise.
No.
Okay. So that was the two main things that happened last evening.
Well, there was another thing. There was a number 1 contenders match for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. Yeah. And it wound up being a no contest because the tag champs interfered in the match. So they made the tag team title match for women's tag titles a triple threat match. And do you need me to explain the rules for that kind of match, Doug?
Yeah.
all three teams are in the net at the same time, but the first team to make a pinfall or submit the other person either win the titles or, in the champion's case, retain the titles.
Okay.
No disqualifications, no countouts.
Okay, so who won?
No, that match won't happen until next week.
Oh, I see.
To be continued.
I don't know how I can wait.
It's like
I can wait
Horizon.
another week for it.
Yes.
In many ways.
Okay.
Larry, do you have the top 5 countries in the world?
Yeah.
Gee, Tim, thanks for asking.
No problem.
Number 5 will be Indonesia.
You thought they'd be in there, Doug. You thought they'd be 4 or 5.
I was sure they would be.
Number 4 will be England.
Okay.
Number 3 will be France, because they hosted the Olympics.
Yes, they did.
Number 2, Canada.
Okay.
Number 1, United States of America.
All right, nice list. Nice list. I think we're all impressed with what Indonesia's been doing lately.
Yeah. Larry, God bless you, and God bless these United States of America.
Yeah, God bless America.
There
All right,
it
Nixie.
is, Larry Nickel. The non-ling texting in on this Blues deal. He says, it is a great strategy to accelerate a rebuild. That's why they kept all that cap space. Thinking back to the slow open free agency and the premium they paid to move Kevin Hayes, it made this possible. Edmonton is expected to put Evander Kane, Doug, you remember him? He had a goalpost on LTIR, but if they match both offers, they'd be $2 million or so over the cap. So there's significant pressure on an Edmonton team that needs to continue to compete. Not sure if this is about both players or if it's a strategic move to pry Broberg out. Broberg has late bloomer in a bad situation potential, so he could fit as a partner for Parayko. Holloway would be ready to jump into a top 9 as a forward who can produce. Blues, I believe, are at their contract limits, so if they get one or both players, corresponding moves would have to happen. I don't believe they'd get a second buyout window. I'm not up to date on those rules. That'd be something I'd monitor. Edmonton has 7 days to match. It would cost a second-round pick for Broberg and a third round for Holloway. Pennies on the dollar for both, and the contracts are pretty in line. Edmonton put themselves in a bad cap situation, but as we've seen, that's the cost of keeping a window open. So the Blues are putting them to the test. They're forcing the action, and that was the reason why they had that cap room out there, is to make this move. Doug Armstrong, stone cold killer.
Well, he can break down these moves with his fancy legal talk. But Jackson and I said all that needed to be said about the two players.
Yep. The Puck brothers is what they call us.
Right. I'm not backing down. We're a couple of Puckmen.
Like that Puckman.
It is non-gay. Always brings the heat.
He does.
He follows us very closely. He's got a heck of a fantasy baseball team, too.
Which team is he?
He's first place and has been all year.
Okay. I never know by names.
You want me to ask him to call in and talk about his fantasy team?
No. I'm just saying. I'm trying to catch him. It's not easy.
That's where the money is. He's about to win. I don't know what it is for tax purposes. Maybe we shouldn't disclose it, 'cause I think it's like $100,000.
Too much, yeah.
110,000? Is that what it is?
Yeah, and a trip to New York.
Was my
And a trip to New York. Yeah.
Just a vacation, a couple nights in New York City.
Plus 110,000, but you have the spending money.
It's Pride Joe League.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what he does.
Yeah.
Let's see what they're saying here in the YouTube chat. Doggy season ticket holder says those are good additions if they can lock them in. Goes with the core they're trying to build in the age range as well. That's from Doggy season ticket holder. And I think I catch myself doing this, but it strikes me as such a core difference between the Cardinals and the Blues. And I guess to simplify it is one is active and one is passive. And I think fans, even if it doesn't work out, appreciate, and not all fans, of course, you can point to when a move doesn't work out, but appreciate being aggressive, forcing the action. I mean, this was a move that is still, you don't know if you're going to get these guys because Edmonton has a week to match it. But you traded Kevin Hayes, you had this money left on the cap, and you did it so you could make a move here to get some value and penalize a team that's trying to keep their competitive window open, a team that just lost in 7 in the Stanley Cup final, trying to maximize the McDavid era, and going, this is where we can squeeze them. And that's what Doug Armstrong did. And meanwhile, you have the Cardinals.
I think the Cardinals have tried to be aggressive. Whether you like the players that they're spending the money on is a different matter. They spent a lot on Sonny Gray. They spent a lot on Contreras. They're still spending a fortune on Goldschmidt and Arenado. It's just that they...
Well, you're defining aggression by spending, and I'd say that there's way more to it than that. I think aggression can also, as odd as it might sound, be selling. Making moves, having a plan. I'm not really sure what the Cardinals' plan to me seems to be, let's just hang around and see if we can get in. And I don't think that is a championship mentality, number one. The problem for the Cardinals is that their 2 world championships in the DeWitt era have come in 2 years in which they hung around and got in, and not necessarily their best regular season teams. And that's kind of the model for baseball right now. And then in addition to that, I think because of their business spot, their precarious position, they're not in a comfortable headspace of let's kind of tear it down in order to build it back up. And that sucks, because I think if they're not sure about their attendance and then concessions revenue, then they also have, of course, running parallel to that, the television situation. And if they're of the mindset that the fans wouldn't come out to watch a young team that isn't necessarily in the mix, they pay for, stars. And I'm just not sure that that's the case, but we've never seen a Bill DeWitt-owned team rebuild in St. Louis.
No. I think the plan was give it another year to try to win it when you got Goldschmidt and Arenado in their mid to late 30s now. You can't really get rid of them. You're not going to get much in return at this point, but you still have to pay them. So why not try to win this year with some veteran pitchers? And it's not working out. But I think that's what the plan was.
I think the plan was we've got to eat innings up. We can't do long-term contracts right now because we have financial uncertainty. And therefore, we're going to do 2 one-year deals and 1 3-year deal for the guy who's in his mid-30s, because otherwise we couldn't compete for other pitchers on the market. So these pitchers made sense to them for what their situation is business-wise. What I don't understand, and by the way, I might be 100% wrong. I'm reading what they're doing as uncertainty about their financial situation, because I think that they don't want to have players under contract long-term because they're not sure about what their television situation is going to be in. The Nonling, speaking of the Nonling, he sent me a text yesterday before Balloon Party. Take a listen to this, Doug. This Nonling's having a huge hour for somebody who doesn't work here.
Is it more legal mumbo-jumbo?
No. He said, I spent far too much time thinking about the doom loop the Cardinals may very well be in right now. Number 1 is Katie Woo, Doug Katie Woo.
Woo, 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 Katie Woo.
Mentioned, if the Cardinals may not spend because their gate and incidental revenues will be lower this season, not only will the team likely not get any better, but the fan interest will possibly/probably wane next year as well. Number 2 is fan interest wanes and revenues continue to drop until they reach some new, smaller equilibrium. The opportunity to improve the team falls to the draft and development side of the front office. They're not demonstrating an ability to do that. Every show in St. Louis can rehash the number of prospects who have been hyped up and then failed or plateaued. More alarming might be the prospects who failed in St. Louis, then found their strides elsewhere. Number 3, assuming the team cannot sustain its attempts at competing, or fans simply refuse to trust the front office, not only will attendance and all related revenue drop, but viewership will drop at a time when the Cardinals need all the leverage possible when negotiating a new television deal somewhere. Number 4, I would imagine a substantial element of DeWitt's business model hinges on the success of Ballpark Village. With low foot traffic and enthusiasm due to baseball factors and outside factors like crime concerns, Ballpark Village may struggle. And in interest rates and other economic issues affecting tenants of Ballpark Village, at what point is that operation seriously at risk? What happens if Ballpark Village fails? And finally, are we entering a scenario where the above factors would actually force the DeWitts to sell the team, or am I too pessimistic for my own good? That is the Nonling.
I think he's too pessimistic about selling the team. Why would they sell the team? These teams just keep going up in value. That's what the DeWitts do.
I think I agree with his first few points, and I think that is the story right now in St. Louis sports. I think. I do not think they would sell the team.
No.
That's the one point. Why he's not saying that they will, but he's wondering about that. But maybe they will. Hell, I don't know. But I don't think that they will.
I wouldn't be shocked if 15 or 20 years from now they pull the plug and build some big complex out somewhere else, farther out of town, in the county somewhere. That wouldn't stun me.
A few decades from now.
Yeah, 15, 20 years or so. If Ballpark Village, struggles, if the Cardinals continue to have problems luring people downtown, I could see them changing. Sure. I mean, that happens all the time. That's just the way it works in a lot of towns now. The stadium's good for 30 or 40 years, and then they want something newer.
Or in Atlanta, 20 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man, good stuff from this Nonling guy. He's absolutely correct. Who the hell is this guy? I'd like to nominate myself for the second Blues Insider. He's obviously number one. That's Harrison's brother, Master. He's nominating himself to be the...
All right, he's in.
Wow.
I'll second the
That's
nomination.
our vetting.
Yeah.
If the Cardinals got rid of all the high-priced guys and came out and said, we're going to run the young guys out there and see who is good enough and who is not, the city would get behind that. It's the lack of a plan that frustrates everyone, Doug. That's Larry Thornton. You might know him from KSTK.
I don't know that I agree with that.
I do agree with Larry.
I don't agree that you can get rid of the quality players that you do have, are not as good as they used to be, and put Victor Scott and Jordan Walker and have guys struggling, hitting in the low 200s, and have the fans go crazy about it. I just don't think that would happen.
Interesting take, but also really dumb. Shut up, Nonling. That's some long balls.
Oh.
Forgot where we were for a second. This is, of course, TMA. You're not going to send some men like that.
And get away with it.
Unscathed.
No.
The emails and offers from the marketing department have an air of desperation from the Cardinals. That's from Chairman Steve in Wildwood.
I wouldn't chalk much up to that. I think most teams send out a lot of marketing emails.
Okay.
First in the standings, last in the standings. I don't think it makes much of a difference.
Cardinals suck, but until the BMI in this town decreases, then Fats will still pack the 300s. Doug, that's from Long Balls. He's back.
He's blaming the people who actually show up at the games now. It's their fault. I mean, sometimes things just fall apart, and it's fallen apart for them this year and last year both. Completely fallen apart for them. I don't think it's lack of effort or caring. I think that their two superstars have regressed considerably over the last 2 years, and that's had a devastating effect on them. And there are other factors as well. The guys coming up from the minors that we thought were going to be world beaters haven't been yet. Maybe they will be someday, maybe not.
Well, I mean, one's already gone. I mean, Dylan Carlson popped up in my little Facebook memories or whatever the hell the app is. Me sitting there in Claiborne, sitting there with Dylan Carlson in 2020, right before COVID. I mean, that was the guy. And that's out the door. Jordan Walker, hopefully, is able to carry what he had been doing the last 16 games in Memphis into St. Louis. He's back up. That's encouraging. But I would agree. If you want to point to, I mean, three specific players with regard to expectation level for production in 2023, and then also, therefore, 2024, all of which they are contractually obligated to play for the Cardinals, Jordan Walker, Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado. You can talk about Ali Marmol and John Mozeliak's bow tie and Mr. Guy Woody's outfits all you want, but if those three guys are performing at what their expectation levels would be, the Cardinals are probably in a wild card spot right now and probably only a handful of games behind the Brewers. But last year was a strategy that hinged itself to Jack Flaherty in particular and didn't tend to any pitching beyond going into that upcoming season. So that was flawed from the outset. And then this one, I don't think anybody was sitting there going, Leonard Gibson or Cy Young guys. They're guys that ideally can eat some innings. And Sonny Gray is a weird case to try and do an autopsy on. I mean, granted, you're in year one of his contract. But God, you don't see too many guys who can do what he does at his ceiling also have that low of a floor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he can be dominating, but he also can get rocked. And he had a weird stat line last night. Strikeouts all over the place, but he's got, randoms hitting home runs. And I know it's that goofball ballpark, but still, those balls were. I mean, De La Cruz's was Chip Cary's and back to back, and the thing was still in the air.
Spencer Steers maybe not so, but yeah, definitely De La Cruz. To me, it's always my thing with the Cardinals is like proactive versus reactive. The Cardinals are so often reactive in their moves and very rarely proactive. Not to say that always being proactive is right and always being reactive is wrong, but for the most part, and that's uninspiring, I would say, I guess, on the reactive part. Like signing Kyle Gibson and Lance Lynn, probably the smart move, but it's a reactive move and doesn't inspire.
Well, you had to react because you lost your other.
And that's kind of my point. Is I'm not saying it's bad one way or the other, but like when reactive so much outweighs proactive, it can be a little disheartening.
But what else do you do when you've lost your other pitchers?
I'm not develop young pitchers.
That's not being active or proactive. That's just being unable to develop your own pitchers.
Right, and so the reactive move is to then sign those two guys, and that's not going to get people in the ballpark. Young pitchers can get guys, and look at what Paul Skeens has done for the Pirates. He's made people who never would watch a Pirates game unless they were playing their team watch the Pirates.
He's a pretty big exception.
And rare. I'm not saying
prospects ever.
100%. But I'm just saying that when was the last time you saw the Cardinals make a truly proactive move?
Take a listen to what Ken Rosenthal had to say. I really like his podcast. It's 2 times a week. You can listen to it on all your podcast platforms. You can watch him on YouTube. Here is what he had to say about the situation in St. Louis.
Next question comes from Thomas Gauvain, who asks, what do you think will change for the Cardinals coaching staff, front office, ownership if they have another season without the playoffs and possibly another losing season? It is possible that they will have another losing season. They're only 2 games over 500 right now. They are not currently in playoff position. And yes, there could be changes if they don't make the playoffs. You would expect almost that there would be, right? This would be 2 disappointing seasons in a row. Ownership is not going to change. Bill DeWitt is not going anywhere. The president of baseball operations, John Mozeliak, there is kind of an understanding in baseball circles that he's not going to do this job much longer. Maybe a year, maybe 2. Maybe he steps down after this year, regardless of what happens. I would say that is possible. He's done this a long time. He is one of the longest tenured heads of baseball operations in the game. So they certainly could transition to either Chaim Bloom, who is there right now, or Gersh, who has been there a while in that front office as well. They also could go outside if they decided to make a change. I don't know that Oli Marmol will be in trouble. Remember, they gave him an extension in spring training. And I don't know that you can put this on him. This is a team that probably has come back pretty well considering how it started, and a team that has kind of disappointed in a lot of ways. Their 2 biggest stars, Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado, have not performed to expectations. So if they miss the playoffs, if they finish below 500, might that change at the top, the head of baseball operations, happen? I would say the chances would be decent, but it's not a sure thing. They value their stability in St. Louis, sometimes to a fault, and I expect that that is going to continue in one form or another.
It's Ken Rosenthal. That was from yesterday on his podcast. Mm-hmm. Is that foul territory?
Fair territory.
Fair territory.
His is fair. Brzezinski's is foul.
I think one of the biggest problems they have is just developing their own players.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
We got down on Flaherty the last year or 2. He's had a huge year as soon as he left here. He's one of the top pitchers in the league now. And, we could go down the list of all the guys who've performed extremely well once they leave here.
It's the development.
That's got to be the biggest issue they have right
100%.
now.
Huge.
It's the reason they haven't had a real homegrown starting pitcher in God knows how long.
Yeah.
And then like Jack Flaherty is a prime example. He leaves and goes, and I mean, obviously in 2019, the second half, he was lights out, but he's looking closer to that.
He was bad last year in Baltimore, but he got it right, and after the Cardinals traded him, but went to Detroit and was a huge acquisition, one of the bigger acquisitions at the trade deadline for the Dodgers. And at this point, it wouldn't even surprise people, I don't think, that much if Dylan Carlson goes to Tampa and...
Kind of expected at this point.
Yeah, in a weird way, it kind of is. There are just these moves. There have been some throwaway moves, in addition to like the glamour ones, and by glamour ones, I mean the higher profile ones, of a Rosarena, a Dallas Garcia, I suppose if you want to go back to last year, Tyler O'Neill. That you go, what are you even doing? And I put Carlson in the same camp as the Lane Thomas thing. I'm just like, I don't know what you're doing. You don't have answers. So it's not what they call these things are log jams, but they're log jams of average players. A log jam is when you have two great players for one spot. Right. Cardinals have guys, and in particular, it's been in the outfield for the last decade of guys. And I think at its absolute core has been an inability in recent years to develop their own starting pitching. That is, I think, at its core, because what winds up happening when you then have to go out and pay for free agent pitchers is those are guys who you're paying for toward the end of their career, as crazy as it is. A free agent pitcher who actually makes it to the market, free agent pitchers, starting pitchers rarely come up at like 19, 20, or 21 and deal. You can have position players at a super young age come up and start to show signs of being a star. But if you look at the free agent pitching market this past year, yeah, there were guys out there, but I mean, hell, I don't even know who the youngest one was, but most of them were in their 30s. And so what winds up happening is, yeah, you might get them for a couple of the years of the good years that they have left, but then you're paying for that back end, and then you can have some albatrosses on your books. So that's something that the organization, I think at its core, has had a real issue with. If you look back, I realize I'm going back a quarter century here, and if anything, it didn't pan out for them, but it allowed them to make some moves that really laid the foundation for the aughts. You had Ankiel, and I realize what happened. I'm well aware of it, but you had Ankiel pitching at 19 years old in 1999, dealing so much so that he was Game 1 starter against Greg Maddux and the Braves in 2000. Matt Morris, homegrown. He started getting things going in 1997. Alan Bennis, homegrown, sick talent. And then once you have that, then you can supplement a rotation by going out and acquiring like a Darryl Kyle. And I realize in almost all of the names I listed, you have Bennis with a shoulder injury, Ankiel with control issues, Kyle with a tragic passing at 32 years old. But when you have the mindset that your business plan is in place with your starting rotation, then that allows you to build your offense by going out and acquiring Jim Edmonds and trading an all-star, believe it or not, Kent Bottenfield to get him. You can trade a young up-and-coming pitcher like Bud Smith to the Phillies and bring in Scott Rowland. And it also allows you to make a trade deadline deal like Larry Walker in 2004 and start to build up from there. And the Cardinals, because they're not able to do this, don't have, it's not about the money, it's about the actual assets. Everybody's got money. Some have more. They don't have the assets to acquire these players because they're having to overpay in order to bring people here, or because they're having to overpay for pitching. And I think that's at the root of it. Now, you can go out and do shows and talk about DeWallet, and he doesn't want to spend money, and he worries about his real estate. The guy's a billionaire. I don't think he's like, hurting, but whatever. I know that that's the thing that's going to get people going. If I wanted to, get people all riled up in 34 minutes, I could go DeWalleting down the hallway. But I think that's a bright, shiny object relative to the issues, because I'm sure the man still wanted to make money from 1996 through 2015 when they were in the playoffs damn near every year in the NLCS, I think 8 times, 9 times, and won 100 games 3 times, along with 2 world championships and 4 National League pennants and a million National League Central Division titles. But all of a sudden, now that he's in his 80s, he's like, oh God, I need some more money. It just isn't the way, it isn't the way that the world really, really works. Their issue is they're running a model that was successful for the first 2 decades of his ownership that is antiquated. And they're still having the same people who are running that model operating it, and they haven't adapted. And that, I think, is the core issue. Not only are the other teams caught up to them, they've passed them by. Your thoughts are welcome. Text in 314-881-TMA5. And you are welcome to email in for our Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day. The morning after at InsideSTL.com for our Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day. This is the morning after, presented to you by Brown & Crouppen.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at BiggiesRestaurant.com and stop in today.
Elevate your performance. Pure Performance is your one-stop shop for all aftermarket modifications. Known for their top quality work and outstanding customer service. It's officially Jeep and Bronco season. Pure Performance carries any accessory for your vehicle, old models to brand new. From sunshades, soft tops, trail doors, to off-road gear like bumpers and light bars, Pure Performance has you covered. Stop by the Pure Performance showroom at 3725 Harry S. Truman Boulevard in St. Charles or visit pureperformance.com. That's PURperformance.com.
The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is now right at your fingertips here in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I'm a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited about launching our Circus Sports app in Illinois. It's sports betting the way it should be, with high betting limits, tight money line splits, exceptional customer service, and more. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. Start betting like a pro from anywhere in Illinois.
There's nothing more important than the look and feel of your home. So now's the time to make your home your retreat. Replace your tired old windows and doors with Marvin replacement products designed to improve comfort and efficiency. Fisher Window and Door Store, a reputable local company, will guide you through the entire replacement process. Their experts will help you make the right choice for your home, and they'll measure, design, and install your new windows and doors.
Hi, I'm Jim Fisher. Since 1941, the Fisher family has provided you with quality American-made building products, including Marvin Windows and Doors. Come visit one of our showrooms in Brentwood or East Alton, and let us help you increase the value of your home.
Bring that distinct sense of quality to every room with Marvin. Visit Fisher Window and Doors' huge newly remodeled showroom in Brentwood or Fisher Lumber in East Alton, Illinois. Quality and comfort starts at Fisher Window and Door. Online at fisherwindow.com.
Get the best at 100 West. 100 West Dental. No insurance? No problem. 100 West Dental has a plan when you don't, for ease and affordability. Feeling nervous? Not anymore. 100 West Dental provides complete comfort during quality care. Over 350 5-star reviews agree. When you want to get your smile into winning shape, get the best at 100 West. 100 West Dental. Consult virtually with Dr. Pryor or book online at 100westdental.com.
The choice of a lawyer is important and shouldn't be based on an ad.
After a serious car accident, people have two questions. Why me and what now? Well, no one knows why you, but I'm Terry Crouppen, and my law firm Brown & Crouppen sure can help with the what now. Car repairs, medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering. We're Brown & Crouppen, and we've got all those answers. All you have to do is call 222-2222.
Want to take on some legends of TMA?
Sound the same to someone who gives a damn about the best fans in baseball! Tired of it!
The show's so great. Will there be a little speaker system out behind the dumpster, so in case you're servicing me, I'll be able to hear my name?
Then nominate yourself to be this month's TMA Listener of the Month. And if you win, you'll get recognition and other stuff. Sometimes all you have to do to win the prize is be a female.
All it takes is one fake girl to just throw this show completely off course.
Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information at TMASTL.com. The TMA Listener of the Month Club, quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to a brighter side of tequila with Milagro. Find out more at TMASTL.com. The Tim McKernan Show podcast, featuring long-form interviews with people from the world of sports, politics, and entertainment.
And our guest today, Bill McClellan. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hey, my pleasure, Tim.
What's up, Caden?
Hi, how are you?
Joe Buck, our guest today.
Man, it's like I haven't seen you in years.
More than 500 episodes and counting, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts, including the TMA STL app. Get the app now at TMASTL.com.
Stupiracy, the podcast where stupidity meets history and conspiracy.
You gotta question these things.
With hosts Scott Rizzuto and Tim McKernan.
I'm here to learn, everybody!
Check out the latest episode, available now. As Riz and Tim explore one of the most bizarre events in medieval history, the trial of Pope Formosus' corpse.
Is he dead or what?
Okay, do you not know what a corpse is? Never mind. As I was saying, Discover how this 9th century pope was exhumed and put on trial by his successor.
I object.
And learn about the political intrigue, the strange customs, and the ultimate fate of the cadaver.
What's that smell?
Oh, that would be me.
Presented by Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Visit evergreenstl.com or call Mark at 314-889-0503. And by Brown and Crouppen, 222-2222 or getbc.com.
You're hearing TMA all day on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis, featuring The Morning After live from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then a full show replay from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., followed by the best of TMA from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. and another same-day replay starting at 10 p.m. KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA all day.
I mean, what the hell is going on?
It's The Morning After.
KPNT FM HD2,
Collinsville, St. Louis.
They'll get that Chardonnay ready.
Chardonnay.
Yeah.
Imagine if they won a playoff series and they started spraying Chardonnay all over each other.
Yeah, it would send a message though. Welcome back to TMA. It's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen, and we're fresh off the Fisher Window and Door 8 o'clock hour. The 8 o'clock hour brought to you by Fisher Window and Door Store, providing you with quality American-made Marvin windows and doors. Visit their showroom in Brentwood or East Alton, Illinois, or online at fisherwindow.com. That's fisherwindow.com, and they are a quality American-made Marvin Windows and Doors company. That showroom in Brentwood or East Alton, Illinois. Timothy Michael McKernan, Douglas Elvin Vaughn, Jackson Burkett with you. Ken Strode has left the show, and he's on to bigger and better things.
What's he doing now? Is he involved in the financial meetings with Hubbard at this point again?
I think so. I think they're going through the financials in Chicago and D.C.
Okay. He's on a Zoom call, probably.
Yes.
He's worried about
tighten up spending.
They're worried about Q4.
I think we've moved on to annuals for 2025.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Send your emails in Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, the morning after, at InsideSTL.com. That's coming your way in about, 15 minutes. 15 minutes. I mean, here we go. JV golf coach has 3 wins and is leading the month, but boy, he started out really strong, falling off.
Did, yeah. Injured.
Keep an eye on Jim Lemon. This is a guy who I think could be dangerous in the month of August. Buck Swope has a win as well. Fupa Doncic has a win as well. And Kevin Miller has a win for the August Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day standings. You can watch the program on YouTube. Callis Coitus said, lock him out, Iggy. They wanted you locked out.
Well, they missed their chance.
There you go.
Why don't you come in, Coitus, and man the door?
Oh,
Poor bitch.
We figured you were in meetings with Hubbard with the financials for Q4.
What's that?
Yeah. We thought that's why you were back late. You're probably on a Zoom meeting talking about financial outlook for the business for the fourth quarter.
I was outside.
Just outside?
I was outside.
Okay. Not in a Zoom meeting.
I wasn't invited to the Zoom meeting.
Oh, no. Okay.
Maybe next quarter.
Yeah.
I'm holding no quarter.
Asking any?
No.
Hello, Vivian?
Jackson. Hey, if you're looking for something to do, the weather is going to be very friendly today. I mean, look, it's 70 degrees right now.
Is it really?
Yeah, 70 degrees.
What are we doing in here?
Well, you should be out, compressing the ball, Doug? Or are you going to pick it? You're just going to pick it?
I had a jacket on yesterday, and it was actually cold.
Yeah, we should have class outside today. Class outside.
I had the heater on in my car for a while.
Did you really?
I mean,
Yeah,
the
I got
high
caught in the rain.
next Thursday, the high is 79. That's August 22nd, Jack.
That's great as long as it doesn't get really cold really early.
Oh, I think we're going to be golden. This is now, people are going to say, who cares about Arizona or Florida? People are going to move to St. Louis for the weather.
And our property values will skyrocket.
Yep, absolutely. Right. But since the weather is so great, go to Ted Drew's. A St. Louis tradition since 1929. Both Ted Drew's locations are open. That's Chippewa and South Grand. Make Ted Drew's part of your summer tradition and visit often for delicious frozen custard. 95 years and 4 generations of families serving St. Louisans that famous frozen custard. Here is the new flavor for 2024. It's the Lewis and Clark Trail Mix. Doug, you like texture in your frozen custard?
I can take it or leave it, yeah. I'm good with or without it.
I kind of have discovered I enjoy some texture.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'm the opposite.
You don't like that? You want
All
it smooth.
All smooth all the time.
Well, then this isn't for you, because Ted's delicious vanilla custard blended with clusters of granola, almonds, pecans, Reese's peanut butter cups, and pretzels is the Lewis and Clark Trail Mix, the new flavor for 2024. The new flavor for 2023, City Red, Ted's delicious vanilla custard blended with maraschino cherries, coconut flakes, and Dad's Scotch oatmeal cookies, served as a concrete or sundae. They still have the cardinal sin, tart cherries, hot fudge, and Ted's delicious vanilla custard, served as a concrete or a sundae. It's Ted Drew's on Chippewa and Ted Drew's on South Grand. Jackson, what's coming up on Balloon Party? Because it's only 22 minutes away. We got the AP poll. We got Missouri losing to the Reds. We got Ken Rosenthal's comments on the Cardinals likely not doing much if the season winds up with another miss of the postseason. What's this thing going to be called? Because Tuesdays can be a Tuesday throwdown?
Nah, I've gotten a little... And the Blues made a trade. You know, a lot going on.
You got JR...
And the JR's on with BK and Ferrario today, as he is every Tuesday.
Oh, is that right?
Uh-huh. But today's question pack is titled Good Pid, Mad City. And I feel really good about it.
World?
Feel really, really good about it.
What does that mean exactly?
It's a nod to K-Dot, Kendrick Lamar's album Good Kid, Mad City. So I decided to call this one Good Pid, Mad City.
Okay.
Good Pid.
Whew, okay.
Relax, it'll be okay.
Okay.
We're not worried.
No.
Well, I can certainly speak for myself.
Yeah, I am.
I was just thinking, Tim mentioned the Lewis and Clark at Ted Drew's. If you were a young man in 1804 and Lewis and Clark asked you to go with him to chart the West and make history, would you have gone?
The alternative probably wouldn't be great.
The alternative is to walk St. Charles Main Street and eat salt smoke all the time.
In 1804?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I'll take I won't go with them. Seems dangerous.
Yeah, there's not a chance in hell that I would have gotten a couple
Although
of canoes.
I do love maps. But yeah, I would probably stay home.
Yeah, I would have too.
But good for them.
Yeah,
Needed it.
thank God
Someone had to do it.
Also coming up in Balloon Party, Stephen Wildwood has left a mic drop, and he says, I had a near-death experience earlier during my mic drop. So I can't wait to hear the passion.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been waiting for a good mic drop, so I'm looking forward to hearing it.
It's caused heart issues in the past, right?
It can take a lot out of a man. It's 90 seconds is the max, but a lot can happen in 90
Screaming
seconds.
for 90 seconds is not easy.
No. He usually has a nice little lead up though, and then he goes into
starts slow and then erupts. He gets his point across.
Yeah.
A hell of a screamer.
Per the experts, El Nino is staying southern this winter, and we should expect colder than normal temperatures. That's from Starfish Street. Don't tell me that's Starfish Street.
No.
Don't tell me that. So was El Nino the reason for the warmer temperatures this past winter, Doug?
I guess it could have been. I don't know.
Because this past winter was...
I'm just all in favor of it. Whatever global warming throws at me, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, this might be like a mild winter and a mild summer. Whew. That'd be real nice.
Yeah.
Back to back.
Starfish Street says we're doomed.
Yeah, I guess the back half is what the concern is. But hey, you gotta have some hope.
I guess.
Last year we were playing golf until the end of November. It's great.
And there were times during the middle of the winter you could play.
Yeah. Those
That's
days
true.
are always tough though.
I got
so busy.
plenty of time where I went to family golf.
Yeah.
Just got working with my family. Jackson, I got some audio here. We played Ken Rosenthal. We'll have that on Balloon Party as well, because I thought that was eye-opening in his podcast. But I also Doug wanted to play this. I'm not really interested in it. It's Stephen A. Smith. So, Doug, you like this?
Yes, I
Let's take a
did.
listen.
All right. Hit the lever.
Stephen A. Smith. I met a girl. We've been on 3 dates. On me. Edible arrangements to her job. And I get a haircut before every meetup. Still no sex. How much longer should I wait? Because my spending limit is $300 before any action. Number one, she should dump your ass on sight.
No.
What the hell are you thinking? Number two, do you want a girl, somebody to call your woman to be proud to have on your arm? Or do you just want some? You gotta ask yourself that question. Do you have any idea how ridiculous you sound saying that I get a haircut before every meetup? Well, what you supposed to do? Show up to her with nappy hair? Looking all slovenly and all of that? What? You want a cookie because you trying to look your best for a honey you trying to get with? This tweet right here, ladies and gentlemen, I was just told that this tweet is from my nephew, Josh.
Oh.
I'm going to end the show. I'm ashamed that he actually got in my ear and told me that tweet was from him. And when I see him, I'm going to slap the hell out of him.
Oh.
I got to go, y'all. I'm going to go and whip my nephew's ass right now.
Clip that off.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. Peace and love. Peace and love.
The whole thing could be basically clipped off. I mean, I got 4 clips at least in here.
The haircut is weird.
Every single time.
Every time you go before a date, a haircut?
That's a little aggressive, yeah.
Why are you tweeting? If it's your nephew, why don't you if it's your uncle, why don't you just text him?
Show fodder. It made for a great clip.
Mm-hmm.
Starfish Street probably reads the Farmer's Almanac, too, and thinks that fuzzy caterpillars are on park benches in the spring means the winter will be cold. Take a hike!
Okay.
That's some wedding tackle.
Pull on my peach fuzz.
It is amazing that they can't really tell you what the weather's going to do 2 days from now, and yet they can tell you what the winter is going to be like.
Doug, more audio that you wanted to play.
I was hoping to get to this.
This is quite a situation here. Sometimes in my TikTok algorithm, there's these things where women, or I guess men, catch their cheating spouse and walk up to them with the phone with their.
Yeah. Busted.
Kind of like Joey Greco's cheaters from years gone by. But now on TikTok. But this is taking it to a different level. Take a listen.
I made a fake Grindr account to catch my husband cheating on me. And when he thought he was going to be meeting this man for dinner, I showed up, his wife. I've been having my suspicions that my husband was cheating on me, so I went through his phone. And this is when I found out that my husband is actually a hoe. I honestly thought I'd find Tinder or one girl on his phone. No. I saw this random app in his phone, so I opened it. And there I find multiple men that he has been talking to and meeting up with. So I relearned what his type was, and I made a profile, and I waited. He reached out and almost instantly wanted to meet up. So I let him take me for dinner for the final time. And let me tell you what, ladies, when I walked into that restaurant, his face was priceless. My happy ass sat right down, ordered myself a drink, and said, "Okay, babe, we're going to talk about this now." When I tell you this man tried playing it off, I let this man believe at first that this other person told me about this meetup, that he found me on social media, and I can't. But he was sitting here trying to spin the truth. And I honestly could not help but laugh when I looked him dead in the face and said, "Honey, I was the person behind that profile account, and I've seen all the messages on your phone from Grindr, and I know you are into men. And at this point, he has slept with more men than females." This is when he tried telling me it's not cheating because he is with another man. That it only would have been cheating if he was with other females.
Okay, all right, that's enough.
How many different people is that talking?
Why are they talking so fast? It's so soft.
Who was editing that?
Jackson, why did you edit it?
Nope. That was me.
Oh.
It was a long clip, and I tried to condense, and yeah, I didn't change her cadence, but
it's very interesting to actually talk with like an NPR kind of softness, yet speak so quickly.
Well, I mean, you'd probably get worked up too if you found out your husband was sleeping with other men.
Yeah, but that goes back to I like his last stand efforts. It's not cheating if it's gay.
So what was the final outcome there? Did he
divorce? And he apparently is some big time executive, and she's ready to out him.
Oh.
If you didn't cut the damn clip off, Doug.
Sorry. You got into it a little quicker, maybe.
That's tough.
God, yeah.
Open up and find. Right. So she thought she might find a Tinder account. But I guess, what do you think is more disheartening? I guess it's person by person, but you not only find out your husband's cheating, but he's not even into you.
If I found out my wife was hooking up with women on the side, I'd just be sitting there with a pitch tent for like months.
Yeah, that's an easier pill to swallow.
Yeah, look at the love they have for each other.
Okay. Well, you may get dumped either way, though, right?
Yeah, but I think you could hold your head up high if she's going for another lass.
Absolutely.
You would. You lost half of everything you have and your kids in the house, and you're going to hold your head up high?
You ever seen any Hawk Tuah girl video or audio?
What?
The Hawk Tuah girl. You ever check out any of her audio?
Not really.
Yeah, she was in In-N-Out Burger yesterday for the first time. It was pretty funny.
The Titanic wouldn't have sank with those two on there.
Okay. Well, Ed Herman says he likes a Hawk Tuah girl. Also.
Going on a date with Matt Rife. She's excited about that. That was...
right.
Doug's work husband.
I don't have
Just an idea. If you check it out, she's got some funny stuff. She just got $50,000 to go to some
bull riding.
Yeah, it's
Really?
amazing.
Yeah. How long do you think she'll be a star? Until someone else comes around, probably?
I don't know. Our management team is getting her out there.
I know, but it still can't last much longer, would you think?
Maybe as long as the Island Boys lasted.
But if she could make $1 million and with 2 months of fame, power to her.
Why not? What's she going to do? Oh, no, I don't want any of your money. It's stupid what I did. No.
Don't you think working for the 2 Fox is more prestigious than getting a PhD?
I do, yeah. There's a lot of PhD candidates who just couldn't hack it at the local news level.
That's right.
So they don't even try. They move on to better, much higher paying jobs.
Yesterday they asked, and I don't know if it's a gag or she just really isn't very smart, but somebody caught her yesterday on the street and asked, so you're doing a lot of philanthropy now? She goes, what's philanthropy? Actually asked, what does philanthropy mean?
Yeah. Well, she's like 18, 19 years old?
I think she's 22, something like that.
Okay. But something else will happen on social media here soon, and someone else will become an overnight sensation, and Walk to a Girl will have to take a back seat. That'd be my guess.
Say her name, Doug. It's Haley.
Her name is Haley?
Haley Welsh.
Okay. Where's she from?
Some small town in Tennessee.
Okay. Well, power to her. She can make a buck an easy way and make a lot of them.
I was telling Jackson during the break, graphic change over the shoulder, but I'm actually, I was in touch with Camp Thruple.
Were you?
I'll be joining their fantasy football league. So I'm excited about that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Will they be offended that you're a non-swinger up in their business?
It didn't seem like it was a prerequisite to get in.
Nice.
They didn't ask you any probing personal questions?
Mm-mm.
Would you have made up a story if they had?
Probably.
Yeah.
That's a good plan.
Are you looking to join a throuple when you're in this league? I'm sure they have a message board.
Yeah. I can barely handle one female, let alone 2, but I'd give it a shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doug, we've got a couple of pieces of business to tend to. Then we'll have the design, air, heating, and cooling email of the day. And then Jackson and I will head down the hallway and we'll do our best. I don't know.
That's all you can do.
Transform your story at Illinois Recovery Center. Illinois Recovery Center, the team believes in the strength of every individual's journey to recovery, whether you're taking the first step or continuing your path. The IRC's dedicated team is here to support you. Why choose Illinois Recovery Center? It's a holistic healing approach, expert care and guidance, safe and welcoming environment, tailored programs for lasting recovery, top-notch facility and accommodation. Discover the path to lasting recovery and renewal at Illinois Recovery Center, where compassionate support meets personalized care for your unique journey. The IRC builds the unwavering determination to thrive beyond the shadows of the past. Whether you've made the life-saving choice to seek help on your own, or you want to be prepared for the other end of an addiction intervention with a loved one, the chance to learn about addiction recovery is available to you at the Illinois Recovery Center in Swansea. If you or someone you know wants more information about the Illinois Recovery Center, please call 888-472-9559 or visit IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com. And 100 West Dental with Dr. Brandon Pryor. Plenty of people go, I don't want to go to the dentist, or I don't have dental insurance. I don't want to have to call and set something up. All of those things eliminated with Dr. Brandon Pryor and 100 West Dental. Number one, no phone call is needed to get in. You just check the calendar online at 100westdental.com for the availability, and you book right then and there. Number two, no insurance, no problem. The membership plan aids in the cost of dental work for those who do not have dental insurance. We have had a large number of TMA listeners start going to 100 West Dental and really enjoying the experience, and now something that can be in the back of your mind like, man, I haven't been to the dentist in a while. I need to get in there. Now it's taken care of. Plus, they have a membership discount plan and a promo. Huge offer. If you mention my name, you get $1,000 off an Invisalign package. If you're on the fence about Invisalign, they have a digital scanner that can show you a simulation of what it'll look like before you even go through with it. It's 100westdental.com, 100westdental.com. Make sure you mention my name, get $1,000 off an Invisalign package, or you can call 636-585-0100. But you can get everything done at 100westdental.com. That's 100westdental.com. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day. Ann Young. Wow, that Hawk Tuah girl audio Ken shoehorned into the conversation at the tail end of the show sounds uproariously hilarious. Wow, real knee slapper. Okay, great. Let's never talk about it again. Thanks. That's from number one Asian intern Brian Henshin, Whisper star, aspiring life coach. I'll be filing litigation against the woman who found out her husband's gay. She's trying to poach my bit, and I won't stand for it.
Okay. Brian Henshin.
I would listen to 1,000 commercials to see Tim on YouTube. Oh. It's an opportunity I refuse to miss. He's like Clark Kent turning into Superman in that phone booth-sized studio. But this email's about butt banging. Webster Hotshots, December 14th, 2023. I had just texted Chairman Steve telling him he was Caller of the Year. His response surprised me. Thanks, man. Let's celebrate. Now go get that dusky-hued dreamboat drinking those Arnold Palmers. He wants you. I know he does. I thought he was crazy, but I figured, what the heck? I approached him in the back, and he immediately smiled with a sheepish grin and said, respectfully, I would like to sing you a lullaby. I want to hold you. So here, eat me out?
Oh, God.
Direct.
I want to show you what man love's all about.
Oh.
Darling, tonight, now I've got you in my sights with these khakied thighs. One look at you and my erection I can't disguise. I've got khakied thighs. I feel the foreskin between you and I.
Okay,
with these
that's
khakied
enough.
thighs. Was that a take on Hungry Eyes by Eric Carmen?
I don't know.
And is that from Dirty Dancing, 87?
I just don't. I don't know.
Jerry Orbach.
Think about that, though.
He was also in Beauty and the Beast.
That was Jerry Orbach?
Jerry Orbach was singing. He was.
Oh, I thought that was the texter's name.
Oh, no. He was an actor.
The texter's name, Destroy His Ass.
Oh, destroy his os.
He's not even trying to cover it up anymore. It just goes right out.
Allow me to explain how my ex-wife outed me as a gay man. Once the truth was revealed, she kicked me out of the house, so I now live in the supply closet in the Barnes Hospital cafeteria. It's not much, but it's bigger than that rinky-dink windowless blue cupboard you guys call a studio. I think Susan was getting suspicious after she found me with a mouthful of my neighbor. I talked my way out of that one by saying I accidentally tripped and fell into his open lap, but deep down, I don't think she bought it.
I don't like the phrase, a mouthful of my neighbor.
Flip that off.
I don't like it.
She was always dropping little hints like, why are your hands inside of Jeff's jean shorts? Or how come Gary's on all fours sniffing your butt like an excited golden retriever? Or my favorite, why do you always lick your lips and stare at my dad when he bends over to fasten the Velcro on his shoes?
Oh.
My ex-wife finally split after she walked in on me riding my boyfriend bareback like a jockey at the Derby. It was just getting good as I yelled, down the stretch they come. I can still remember the tone of her voice when she interrupted our playtime and said, Brad, I always pictured a man of your slight stature as more of a catcher. Talk about disrespect. That's from TMA Twink.
TMA Twink.
And finally, the Cardinals are losing, tra-la, tra-la. Are you really surprised? They are a dysfunctional organization with no strategy to win the World Series, instead perpetually making moves to keep their heads above water in terms of, quote, competing for the postseason. Most of their internal prospects have floundered only to prosper elsewhere, yet nobody ever seems to get fired unless they challenge the front office's authority. Every coach's job is safe as long as they keep their mouth shut. Manage the team to their worst season in 33 years? Here, have a contract extension. Some of the players, I'm sure, dealing with mental health issues of having to endure the mismanagement by the pyramid of loyalists who are in charge despite having never played in the show. And then as soon as they get a fresh start somewhere else, it's like a weight is lifted off their shoulders and they perform. Ours is the type of presentation where the title sponsor feels free to drop in at any time and fire shade at the drop in quality content from the Larry Doby of OnlyFans teachers, field offers to strip down and fart in listeners' mouths, and then offering legal counsel on a myriad of topics, including docking and whether a spouse has any right to your assets because she caught you outside naked flogging your neighbor Cliff. Okay, I got to go check my email to see if I got those concert tickets I promised to someone else and definitely did not tell her in advance that I don't have the tickets yet. And the only way we're going is if my employer gives them to me for free. But not to worry, if we can't see Green Day on Thursday, I hear Almost Kiss is playing the new Fuddruckers in Wellston. That's from Buck Swope.
Oh, is it? Buck Swope. Nice little email, fella.
And that's what we have for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day.
Well, today, despite some questionable content, I've decided to vote on a fellow by the name of TMA Twink. TMA Twink.
Yeah, there weren't any good ones, actually. But I chuckled once with TMA Twink, so I'll vote for him.
TMA Twink is one. And he's got his first win for the month of August. JV golf coach, strong start. Are you wondering if he's going to be able to finish this thing?
I don't think a lot about this as soon as the show's over, Tim.
He didn't even email in, did he?
He's back to school. I'm wondering if he's not going to be around.
Back to school.
He looked cute in his back to school picture yesterday.
School started this week?
Probably teacher meetings.
My nephew started school on Monday.
Really?
Yeah.
Gosh, public school starting next week.
Yeah. It always seems like it gets earlier and earlier.
I know. What's that about?
I don't know. I don't know why you want to go in the middle of August.
This is when I would start school when I was a kid. Right around this time.
Yeah. I always started the day after Labor Day.
Yeah, that was the deal.
But you go to like June, right?
Usually Memorial Day.
Okay. We would get out 2 weeks before then.
Did you have any snow days back in your day, Doug?
Oh, gosh, no.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, we'd get feet full of snow. And, of course, with no cars, it meant we had to walk.
Right.
And shoes hadn't been invented yet.
It had to be cold in the building with no electricity for heating.
Well, if we'd had a building, we could have complained.
You had an outdoor classroom?
We had a lean-to. And we liked it. We were happy with it.
Ads during the email read? Come on, Jackson. That's from the Hunchback of Von Castle in the YouTube chat.
They feel like you've gone too far this time.
All right. Well, what are you going to do? We all have
what
stories.
audience frustrates you more, this one or Balloon Party?
This one.
Oh, wow. You insta-called that.
Well, because these guys are smarter.
The listeners here are smarter
Yeah,
than
they pick
there?
up on what actually bothers me more.
Oh.
Down there.
They know your sore spots?
Yeah, down there they're like, oh, this guy sucks. Basketball sucks. I'm like, oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, you got some of that coming for the next 60 minutes because it's time for Balloon Party. We got to go. For Jackson Bennett Burkett, for Chairman Kurt, for Kenneth Iggy Strode, for my brother Kevin, for Douglas Elvin Vaughn, I'm Tim McKernan. This has been The Morning After, presented to you by Brown & Crouppen.
Man, TMA likes to talk about golf.
The guy had barely put the flag back in, and I hit my wedge.
Incessant golf chatter.
And, of course, the green is protected by bunkers.
Golf, 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 golf.
We can 1-2 putt in 2 seconds.